Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody. We got to find a way to lengthen that out.
Just got to double
I've been working on that for a long time.
Yep, man. Maybe by next year we'll have it worked out, kind of like everything else. It's always
Brian's
next
getting
year.
hit by the storm.
Oh yeah, he's getting hit hard.
He's getting hit hard.
My fucking internet's been shaky all day because of this shit.
You look more Asian than I do.
Effing weather.
That's
Yellow.
saying something.
You're looking yellow.
I'm back in my normal place, though. I'm not in
And
a...
you got a haircut, Ryan.
And I did, yes. I looked homeless.
You're not
I
looking
looked
so
like
butchy today.
Yeah.
I was homeless. I looked like I was in a Ukrainian prison camp. Things weren't going well. But now we fixed it. We got the haircut. My haircut girl came back from her vacation. I got back into town, so everything's solid. Feel good. I'm ready.
Good.
Ready to go. Ready
Got
to
a
go.
pumpkin behind me.
Hey, it's good to get in the spirit, right? It is.
Yes.
Playing the part of Jeremy Griggs, a homosexual man who wears Crocs today, is Savvy. Where's my?
I'm here to give the best and most aggressive kicks while being a homosexual.
Yes. Excellent. He's off talking about a wine mom for 2 hours as opposed to us talking about wine moms for about a half an hour. Okay, so that's about it. What the hell is
A
that?
crossover there.
It's a little crossover. Yeah, lots to talk about. It's, hey, welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Very excited to talk about this show because I saw the most egregious thing in pop culture ever. This was the worst episode of The Rings of Power ever. It's not in the zeitgeist because nobody's watching the fucking show, but I'm still pissed that it happened. So we will definitely talk about the very romantic kiss between Guy Ladriel and Doogie Elrond, which was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Tolkien's his grave blew up again.
You can hear the banjos playing in the background.
I just
Keep
watched
it in the family. That's how the elves do it.
that. They do.
And people from Alabama.
And Targaryens.
That's where they're located.
Yeah. Another episode of Agatha came out, and women drinked wine. Drank wine. I sound like I drink
one
wine.
of them did die, so that was a positive.
Well, that's a good.
Hopefully by the
I wish
end
they
of the
all
series,
died.
Spoiler.
Hey,
I want them
are we
all to
doing
die.
spoilers?
Yeah.
Is she really dead?
Later we can do
The
spoilers.
entire episode is wine drinking and making food in a sink.
Yeah.
And having bad reactions to botched facial surgery.
Right. What you know. Right.
Yeah, females. Am I right?
The entire episode was basically an LA woman story.
Yes, it was. And we have other things to talk about as well, including a very cringe. It was called Geeks and Nerds for Harris. So that'll be in the Rumble Hour. We've got some clips. I made Jeremy stream that and I just missed it and watched everybody else suffer. That was kind of fun. So welcome our guest, YellowFlash. What's up?
Great to be here.
Welcome back, brother.
Excited.
Hell yeah. Picked a great day to be on.
Finally, not Doctor Who.
Thank
Last
God
time
not.
I was on here, we talked about Doctor Who.
Oh, shit.
Now we can talk about shit like Penguin, something that's actually good.
Yeah.
Great.
Finally, I think all of us have watched.
I think we can spoil it a little later on. We can just talk about the spoiler part because, I loved it. And I think it was great that they released it on a Thursday, the same day as The Rings of Power, beat it like a fucking drum, beat Agatha like a drum. And then they're waiting until next Sunday, which is a kind of a better day to release it. And then now I can do live streams on it, which I'm pretty excited about. So there you go. Yay me. But we'll talk about Penguin, talk about some Hollywood shit. But we have to kind of start with The Rings of Power because holy fuck. That was unbelievable. That was so how did you put it, Garrett? It was dense with retardation.
Yes, very thick with 2 C's.
I mean, trying to take notes on watching that piece of crap, I think I got up to 3 to 4 pages. And just to try and cover everything, my live stream went over 3 hours. There was so much stupid crap in that whole episode. It almost broke me. That one really was tough to get.
And I really thought it was going to be like battle episode. Nothing but battle. But
that's how they
every
advertise it.
time,
It's supposed to
every
be
There were
the
battles.
season finale, right?
What's
And
up?
that was-
that's next week.
But before we
Oh, that's
get
next
into
week.
that, I have to read X-Ray Girl.
Hey.
Thank you. I was waiting for it.
Thank you. Did you remind me?
Chat forgot to remind me
Come on,
to
chat.
remind you. But I did remind you at the beginning, but just not on stream.
Gary, remember to read the thing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
thing,
Thanks,
yeah.
Chrissy. Thanks. Hey, be naked. Like we all are from the waist down
Under
for
our
every live
clothes.
stream. Yes.
Under our
Under our clothes.
I know that everyone
Really
really
changes
I
the
know.
context, you
Scene
know.
really
Under
hits
my
different.
clothes.
I'm naked right now underneath all of my clothes, just so you know.
In today's society, because we live in a society, it's tough to be a man in a world dominated by overly masculine liberal women who write The Acolyte, which isn't really masculine, but I just try to make it work. That's just not how it's meant to be. Everywhere we look, it's gender neutral. This product or made for her, that product. That's why we started a company that embodies the ethos of men's lives matter too, with products that aren't designed to be gender neutral or used by people with pronouns or products. Our products at Rumble are designed and built for men by men without periods. So if you struggle with the low energy, mood swings, some hair loss, or if you need to perform better in the gym or maybe in bed and recover quicker, because we need that quick recovery in bed, especially the older you get, trust me. Throw out all the other garbage supplements and try animal organs, because they are traditionally the most nutrient-rich supplies on the planet. Our bison organs are a step above. The grass-fed, non-vaccinated bison are a species where the weak are allowed to die and only the strongest survive. So here's our commitment to you from men who have real confidence in their products. Try this today. If you don't like it, fine. Return it for a refund. Click in the bio or go to benaked.com or just be naked. It's up to you. /Nerdrotic. Code Nerdrotic and get 15% off. Hail.
I'm glad
Penultimate.
that only the strong bison survive, just so we can fucking rip their organs out and turn it into
Yes!
awesome supplements. Fuck yes.
Which organs are they?
The
All
ball.
Genitals,
And nads.
lungs, liver, everything.
Kidneys?
Testicles,
Eyeballs. Yeah.
anus.
Wow.
Rectum.
Tender.
I
Very
imagine
manly.
it looks like a calamari.
Is anus an organ?
I don't know. Probably for some cultures, I'm sure.
The gay ones.
It's technically an organ.
Hollywood.
Just
For
because it's a
Hollywood.
delicacy
Puff Daddy.
doesn't mean it's an organ. Okay.
You know,
Puff Daddy loves a good anus party.
actually, before the Rings of Power, I'm going to take some time on. So let's get over fucking Agatha, because the most important, the biggest story of the week is the ratings, which have just come out. Disney has released their own internal numbers, so it's trust me, bro. And Samba TV came out with their top 10 today. There's something missing. You can't see 10, but
what's
there
10?
you go.
Oh, it's not Agatha.
So,
Bro, the fact that, let's just be real here for a second. The fact that Rings of Power is 8th on this list is kind of a bigger story
Yes.
than Agatha not being on there. Like, Tulsa King
yes,
is ahead of Rings of Power.
A Paramount Plus show.
Yeah, Paramount Plus is like fucking no subscribers compared to some of these other things.
Yep.
Prime Video, they've never released an exact number, but they have said at one point in time over 200 million Prime Video customers tune in monthly. So you can assume that the sub count on that they're counting is at least 200 million plus, which is below only Netflix in terms of size of the platform, amount of subscribers. And for your premiere thing in Rings of Power, the most expensive television series in history, to be there, that is a sad state.
to give you some context, I'm guessing on this, but I don't think I'm wrong. The Rings of Power cost as much as all of those shows combined on this list.
Good lord.
Probably, yeah.
Season 1 was 1 billion. How much do you think season 2 is?
They have played those numbers down. So
yes,
it depends who you believe.
they've tried very hard to play those numbers down because it was used against them. I would too.
Yes.
I would too.
I don't think it was $1 billion for season 1. The
the
original
articles were
estimates were $1 billion for the first 2 seasons, were the estimates that were thrown out
They were
there.
combining it.
And that
Somebody
factored
screen
in
capped that.
cost of rights and shit like that. now that we've seen a little bit, it sounds like the first season, when you combine the $250 million in rights that they spent on the entire thing, and the first season, that was like $700 million combined. And now this season sounds like it's around $450 million. That's the budget for the second season. So you're talking about well over $1 billion spent for 2 seasons of something. That's insane.
That's
especially with the quality of the product that we're getting back.
That's getting
Yeah,
beat
speaks
like
to the-
or barely beat by Mormon housewives. That's getting beat by getting beat by Tulsa.
You should be
Shad
Be
just,
happy about that.
Shad just got hard.
That is a
Yeah.
show.
He wants to appear on the next season.
Yeah, I do.
For that
I'm gonna
TV
watch
list,
this thing.
Does it only count like American produced entertainment? Or like how is that, like, is it the global numbers or like just American?
On the TV chart specifically are U.S. households.
Okay.
So they have about most of the numbers they put out are just U.S. based. They have something like 25 or 30 million TVs that collect data from. So you can't really compare the numbers that they put out to, say, the Nielsen ratings, because they just look at households that tuned into something, whereas the Nielsen ratings are taking a sample of things and trying to estimate in terms of the entire population of the United States exactly how many people are watching.
But they'll never.
It does give you a good comparison.
So they'll probably never take into account anime, because I refuse to believe that anime is not beating out some of this stuff.
Oh,
It's
you know
beating
it
all
is.
of it. It's beating all of it.
Yeah.
So the truth of the matter is, the reason they try to obfuscate all these numbers and they give you minutes watched, and for one,
Yeah, I don't like that now.
well, Netflix established that, and that's why they drop everything, and that's why they're always destroying everybody in this list, because Suits, which did rule the summer and everybody watched it, but it was also 100 episodes, and they were counting all the minutes from those 100 episodes, and that's why they ruled the list. The truth of the matter is, these shows are being watched by an alarmingly low amount of people, like alarmingly low. So, for example, X-Files, when it premiered, had about 6 to 10 million people watching it every night. It was the 63rd most watched TV show back then. It would be number 1 now. It would be number 1. So Paramount has 68.4 million subscribers, and Tulsa King beat a $1 billion TV show like a drum. That is the big story in this. But Agatha not showing up is not a surprise at all. Like, at all. Disney took 7 fucking days to come out with their, 9.4 million worldwide, by the way. That's why you don't want to run out trying to own the chuds without doing reading past the fucking headline. And maybe some of us have been doing this for a little while, and we can parse out like what's worldwide, what's US only. By the way, this is an internal Disney number that comes from Disney. So are we going to believe them? What do they count as a view? What's their metric? Nobody knows.
And this is not a
trust
good
us,
number.
bro.
9.3 million over a week is not a great number.
No,
If
it's
you
not.
Look at any random top 20, top 100 YouTubers. They're all getting 25 million. Like, this is not a good number. This is a horrible number.
So that's
if you
over
spend
the
this
course
much money.
of 1 week. They're counting all those views for a Disney Plus show where they have 158 million subscribers. But if we go back in time to when Jackass first premiered on an obscure day at an obscure time, they had 2 million viewers for that one day when everybody had to tune in at the same time.
Exactly.
Right.
But they can't even beat out Jackass back in the day on cable TV when not every house had a TV.
You remember
way
when we
that
actually had TV ratings and the CW shows would come out and you'd see Batwoman and it's like 300,000 people watched it.
They were devoted, though, that 300,000.
They were a devoted 300,000.
They were
and that's-
devoted 300.
That's probably
Like
how many
Acolyte.
people watched The Acolyte. I mean, in reality.
They're shooting for the same audience, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, can you pull up that article again? Is that the Deadline or the Variety one? Which is
This is Variety.
All right, can you scroll down a little bit? I just want to show, like, you do have to, if you're going to talk about this stuff, you do have to be able to, like, parse through some of this stuff and understand what the context is and not be an absolute fucking retard, especially when the media is going to try to mislead you. You scroll down. I want to see, go one more. Here, the opening of Agatha All Along appears to be roughly on par with that of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Oh, really? What do you think roughly on par means? Which December 2023 debuted with 13.3 million views in 6 days. So you think that roughly on par means that you get an additional day of ratings and it's still 40% less? That's what you would equate as roughly on par? How fucking stupid can you be?
I do also wonder if that is specifically comparing it from international to international or international to domestic. Like,
no, those are all global. All
they
the
are all global.
Yeah. Out are all global numbers.
Okay, gotcha. Because I knew they have admitted how they count a view, and it ultimately comes down to the length of the show, right? Divided by, basically, if you have 100 people watching a minute of the show, they count that as a 100 minutes watch, basically.
And the
so
next
then
line
you divide that by the show.
The next line is Acolyte started with 11.1 million, and it got canceled.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Highlight that part.
So because it turns out your views don't matter. What matters is if you're profitable or not. And so it doesn't matter like where you rank the show versus other shows. If you're not profitable, you're going to get cancelled. And besides, with all of this stuff, I don't really care if 100 million people watched it. It's still a terrible show.
Still sucks.
So
exactly.
What are you really arguing? Do you like the show? Is that what you're arguing? Because if you're going to argue over numbers as like some kind of own, I'd probably pick a better property myself.
Captain Marvel sucked. It was $1 billion movie. It still sucked. Mm-hmm. And it made a lot of fucking money. It turned a profit. And it caused a lot of shit for Disney because they got, this is the way the wind's blowing now. And it turns out it wasn't.
And even the people that loved the film and defended the film, they didn't watch it ever again. Like that's the amazing thing about it, right? When you ask them to be honest about their rankings with it, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like a mid-tier film. It's amazing, but it's about a mid-tier film." And then they've never watched it again. They didn't see the Marvels.
Remember that clip that came out from that too, where they admitted they played ball with it from that sci-fi podcast. You had
the clip that I found.
Yeah,
but also look at the knock-on effects to the Marvels, because the ratings for one thing don't really matter because that's the initial impact. People watch it, they give it a try. What really matters are the ratings for the later episodes when people know what they're getting and whether they've decided whether they're going to continue.
Yeah,
and that's where the numbers are actually really important, because Captain Marvel was boosted by the fact that it was set in between the two biggest and most important comic book movies that we'd ever seen in our lives, right? Infinity War and Endgame. And
it's like the Empire and Jedi for that generation.
Yeah, like the little cliffhanger for Infinity War was teasing Captain Marvel. Yes. And they made people buy in the idea that this was going to be super fucking important. You had to watch this to understand what was going to happen in Endgame. And that was kind of a bait and switch. That was
at the month before
the case. But that's one of the reasons it made $1 billion. And then we see what happens with the sequel, which is the Marvels, the biggest flop in the history of the MCU.
Yep.
Slideshow Ryan is right. We got hoodwinked.
Yeah, Ryan, your internet is about as good as mine on average.
I don't know what I can do.
Should I send maid?
No, I think I like
instinct.
I like 140p Ryan. I'm kind of digging it. So as long as we can hear him, it's fine. Give a shit what he looks like.
I like it when he rants and he just stops moving.
Even his mouth. Minecraft Ryan.
I am Steve.
You're better than Jack Black. Hey, dude, there was a great X-Files episode where Jack Black dies. It was awesome. I loved it. He got struck in the back by lightning, and I applauded. So there is an internal formula for Disney. I have no idea what it is, but and nobody does. It's proprietary. It's something they'll never share. But there's an internal formula that keeps shows around and and causes them to be canceled. Obviously, Willow did not make
tax write-off.
Made it as tax write-off. Acolyte was canceled. There's other shows that did.
It's all my favorite shows.
But I know. Well, and She-Hulk, according to the formula, She-Hulk did good, but not good enough to be renewed. So most of the shows they don't even say anything about. So yeah, trying to own people with the Acolyte or with the Agatha ratings when they were lower than the Acolyte is kind of funny. I was watching my Twitter feed to go, what about this chud boy? And I'm like, you fucking retard.
Compare that, something like, because the reason these numbers are interesting is because it does give you an idea of where things are at. Yep. For instance, Loki season 2 premiere in 3 days got something like 10.3 or 11 million views.
So
that's in 3 days for Loki season 2 globally.
People actually like Loki. And Tom Hiddleston's good, so I mean that's
the most successful MCU show. So that gives you an interesting gauge of what they consider to be successful. Now, a lot depends on what the budget of Agatha is, which I haven't heard anything about. We know that some of these Marvel series, like Secret Invasion, like She-Hulk, cost upwards of $200 million in similar territory to like The Acolyte, $230 million.
She-Hulk costed that much? You'd never tell.
Well, they ran off all the talent because Victoria Alonso was a giant cunt to him.
Yeah, to the point where she got fired.
It's
Part of the purge.
Because like none of this stuff has any staying power. I always gauge things based off of, can the fan art keep the discussion going? Not one single thing produced in America in the last 10 years has had any form of staying power whatsoever.
No, positive memes are a good metric for a show. Like House of the Dragon gets them. Game of Thrones was great. Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings still gets them to this day, and they're fucking hilarious, and they're retreaded, I know, but I don't care. They still make me laugh. But yeah, that's positive memes. Once you get into this long enough, you can tell if something has a cultural footprint. You know, there are exceptions. Avatar has zero cultural footprint, but it's like catnip for normies. Like it's normie nip.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's a psyop, man. I swear.
It's a psyop.
Nobody talks about it, bro.
Yeah, nobody talks about it. Never see any hype. Nothing surrounding it, but it always does good.
It does great.
It's just the silent majority, I guess.
Blue people, man. Blue people.
Blue people. That's right.
You can just turn your brain off for like 4 hours and just watch the pretty graphics.
The effects are good.
That's all it is.
They're really good. But
I like the second one more than I like the first one, to be honest. I liked like the family, father-son stuff they had going on.
Yeah, that was cute.
I liked it more than just, hey, let's watch Dances with Wolves again.
I know. Yeah, I didn't like either of them. I also didn't like Agatha all along. I did watch the episode this morning. And dude.
Well, Gary, you're not a 45-year-old wine mom, and you're not a 20-year-old gay dude.
I know.
So you're a 50-plus-year-old gay dude.
It wasn't made for you, like Marvel fans.
I know.
It was too much about the wine.
For me?
It was too much about the wine, and I love
from
wine.
Marvel. It's insane.
No, from Marvel comics.
I wasn't expecting much. But this whole episode was them going into a house trying to make some crap in a sink. The end. Like it was a nothing episode. And it's like, so yeah, this is one of those, my expectations are low, but holy crap.
It was like they were in an escape room.
Yeah. Yeah, it was basically that.
Do they fight at all? Like, has there been any fighting?
I felt like
just cattiness, like
yeah.
Like
Richie. How many episodes in
white girl fighting,
passive
basically.
aggressive, yeah.
Just screaming at each other and
that's
that's pretty much it.
Made for?
Well, that's a good question.
Women in Los Angeles.
The people who wrote it,
Yeah.
I guess.
How much do you reckon this episode cost? Because really, they used one set, like one location through the whole episode, and some bad effects. That's the episode. I can't believe it cost so much.
No, and it's a mystery box. Because we love those around here. It's a mystery box, and they're walking down the witch's road to get their power. Because Agatha is now 3 episodes; she doesn't have her powers, and it kind of reminds me of Yennefer in Witcher season 2 when she's like doesn't have her powers and she has to science them back to show female empowerment. It was terrible. But the only thing that I can they mentioned Mephisto. They dropped Mephisto's name because Jack Schaefer finally figured out who Mephisto was. And the mystery...
That's just from the comments. That's not because she did any research.
No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, she could have just gone to Wikipedia. It was... Do you guys want a spoiler?
Spoil it.
Let's spoil. You're going to actually plug your ears? You can still hear.
Sorry, I was plugging my ears.
I don't think it works like that.
You have headphones on, Garrett.
Hold your nose.
I'm watching too many of these shows, man.
According to Perry Chan, I'm going to put this on him if it's wrong. Spoilers. Funko Pop spoiled it already. Oh, you could take the spoiler thing off. Nobody cares. take it down.
Well, hold on. Hold on. I'm getting the spoiler.
Aubrey Plaza's playing Death.
Lady Death, Deadpool's girl.
No, well, Thanos' girl.
Well, yeah, both of them are into her.
I said this.
That's his true love, not that stripper.
I said this in the chat earlier. If Aubrey Plaza actually was Lady Death, I would fucking snap out half the population with her too. 1000%, half the people in the world can die if I get to fuck Aubrey Plaza. I'm down.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I
Wait, is Wiccan supposed to be the scrawny gay dude?
Yeah,
Yes,
teen.
that's Wiccan.
They have
But he is a
legitimately
gay dude in the
leaked
comics too.
leaked everything about this series. The trailer leaked that Wiccan was Billy, so they ruined that mystery. Death has now come out because of this one. That Jack Schaefer came out and said that Billy is the one casting his own "I can't say anything about myself" spell. So
Yes.
every question they just answer it. They don't even seem to care about
Wait,
spoilers
the
themselves.
scrawny little loser kid is fucking
The
Wiccan.
only man.
They turned him into a massive joke.
Technically,
Is he a man? I was about to say, yeah.
well, that's what I said. Yeah,
I mean,
we're talking about.
canonically
I
he's
think-
gay. Yeah.
Is he gonna
I thought you
be?
said canonically.
Fine, but they turned him
Is he
into a
still gonna
joke.
be Wanda's kid?
Yes.
That's what Billy is.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is that?
My
Aged
guess
up.
is that my guess is that everyone's going to, or
I'll tell you
they're
exactly
going
how.
to try to push the idea that he might be Agatha's kid that she gave up
Yes.
to get the Darkhold. I think that's what they're going to try to play on, and then it's going to be a big twist when it's revealed that it's actually Wanda's kid, and
So-
she's like started.
so
to train about
That's
him
what they
a little
did in
bit.
this episode. They basically kind of went, she sold her son to Mephisto, and she wouldn't even recognize him if he turned up. They couldn't have done if they put a yellow sign pointing to him at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that why we have leaks saying that she might come back? That she's not actually dead, and that the actress would love to come back?
Well,
Yes.
that's because that was probably like always what they wanted to do. They were
Yeah.
going to this multiverse thing anyway. Like, I think that was always probably in the cards, even right after Multiverse of Madness, when she was doing appearances on like Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that. They got us, oh, so is your character like dead? She's like, well, I think she's dead for now. She's definitely dead for now, but it'll be interesting
It's
to see what
comic
happens
books.
in the future.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think that was always kind of what they wanted to do.
Yep. The kid survived the end of WandaVision, and they're projected into other bodies that are dead.
So he's in a dead body right now.
So he's in a body of a kid who was just about to, just died, right? So
Wow.
So he's a made-up figment of her imagination that survived and got put
that was
into
willed into
somebody
life
else's
into
body.
somebody else's body after they died. Yes.
Think of it like a SpongeBob episode. Whenever they do the imagination stuff, and Mr. Krabs pops out of flashbacks to interact with Plankton, that's what's going on here. It's just SpongeBob.
So that
SpongeBob is
explains
better.
why he was like when he tried to say who he was, it was getting masked.
No,
Yeah,
he's
okay.
casting that himself.
He's putting
So-
his own spell on. so.
Why? Why would he have to do it
Is it that
himself?
she can create souls? Is that part of the canon?
Wanda's powerful enough to do
Manipulate.
just about anything.
Well,
when she
yeah,
wants
That's
to.
essentially what she's doing in this case. Is she
Yeah.
creates
To
a
Omega
person's
level.
soul and then puts it into a body. That's insane.
Yeah, and the Darkhold was around for a while too. So, yeah, I maybe, but I think it's just her kids, and this is a way to introduce the Young Avengers, because Wiccan was.
They
part of
already
the Young
set that
Avengers,
up.
Yeah. So
Which is going to fail completely. Nobody's going to be
Do you
interested.
think
in
they're
this
actually
young-
going to make that? I
Yes.
feel like
No.
they're going to push it off to the side.
know,
who knows?
I don't think it's going to happen because by the time they finally get around to it, they're not going to be that young anymore.
Yeah,
That's what I was
exactly.
getting.
Phillips is
Half of them are
35.
going to be middle-aged by the time. It's
Riri Williams filmed the Ironheart series when she was like 18 or 19, and she's going to be 30 before it comes out.
And she already
She
looks
was already
25.
looking rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she's a 30-year-old woman in those clips.
Oh, that show's supposed to come out next year. Can't wait. But yeah, in this episode, literally nothing happens. They walk into a house, they change clothes, they drink some wine, they get some bad plastic surgery, they have to brew an antidote. They do it in the sink. There's a countdown clock to create that artificial tension, and they do it, and that woman from that 70s show dies. The end.
Who only dies because none of them care about her. And
No,
this is one of the issues
they
with the
don't
show.
care.
I don't
all
either.
the characters
It's
are
weird.
yeah, but all the characters are evil, and their aim for this is to get the end of the road so they can get more power to be more evil. So why am I not supposed to want the road to kill them all?
That's a very good question. There's nobody likable in it, and yeah, we know who it's for, but apparently they're not watching it either. So it didn't even crack the Samba TV chart. So and they said Catherine Hahn said this isn't a get in the second season, And as Ryan was talking about earlier, if any of these D+ shows were massive successes, they would get a season 2. Loki got a season 2. If WandaVision was this just massive, and it did better than this, why didn't it get a season 2? It's not because the actors can't find time. I don't see Paul Bettany being that super busy. He's making a Vision show. Terry Matalas.
I think that it depends on the project, right? She-Hulk, certainly they wanted to get a season 2 for
Yes.
that. Something like Secret Invasion, that to me clearly felt like a limited series that was supposed to be a connector to show what Nick Fury had been up to immediately before the Marvels. So, like when I see something like that, I'm not thinking, oh, I wonder if they're getting a season 2, because that felt like a limited series connector.
Yeah.
But for some of the other projects,
setting up
you can set out to make a limited series, right? And it could do okay. But if it does phenomenal, like the Penguin is doing right now, the Penguin's only supposed to be 1 season, but you don't think there's executives going, can we get a season 2 out of this? Remember, the Joker was supposed to be a one-off. Todd Phillips was like, no, I'm never going to do a fucking sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
This time to own the audience.
Yeah. With this show specifically, though, I think that if it had been a success, I think they would have probably just spun it off, and it would have been a very different show with a lot of the same actors and characters that they had set up.
Early
but clearly, that didn't happen.
Early on with D+, the stuff was doing better than it is now. So, Falcon and Winter Soldier we got Captain African America coming out, reshot 3 times, probably a budget of $400-500 million.
Did WandaVision do better or as good as Loki, or was Loki still better?
Loki did better.
A lot of people liked it.
Yeah, Loki did better. But WandaVision did good. Like, it did all right, yeah.
But that was the thing with the early Disney Plus shows. You were using actual movie characters that people knew, and now you're making series out of spin-offs from the movies.
That nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Speaking of, there's a trailer out for the Thunderbolts. We watched this on this show.
The Thunderbolts is such. This looks like such a friggin' disappointment. I'm a fan of the Thunderbolts comics, right? We talked about this on my live stream, and this is just looking like.
What was the meme I saw on Twitter? It said all the unsold Marvel Legends were put into a movie.
Wait, then you'd have to have the Eternals in there.
I know.
Because those are still sitting at Ollie's, all of them.
Well, remember this show. Okay, this show is essentially a sequel to Black Widow. I mean, this movie is a sequel to Black Widow. It was set up tangentially through Hawkeye, and a little bit after Falcon and Winter Soldier. So there's a stinger. Does everybody remember the stinger at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier? I know you all do.
No.
Sharon Carter making a phone call. It was a really exciting stinger.
Oh,
yeah.
She evil.
At the end.
This is a sequel to a movie that came out 4 years ago that barely anybody watched and it really sucked.
A really bad movie too.
Really bad movie. Yeah. And then Yelena kicked the shit out of Hawkeye at the end of Hawkeye.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So can't wait to see this.
Too.
Yeah.
This is not the Thunderbolts. This is just Marvel's attempt at the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
The Thunderbolts should be villains posing as heroes, and then half of them doing a redemption arc and becoming real heroes. That's the concept of the Thunderbolts. These are just the rejects in the Marvel universe forming a team that no one cares about.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know the comics, but from the trailer, they just look like depressed superheroes. Well, depressed villains. Which, again, why am I supposed to root for any of these people?
John Walker's the only one worth a shit.
I click leave on port.
I like Bucky.
He did nothing wrong.
Bucky, man, he's cucky in this.
To HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
It's Odin.
I think his house is a little cleaner than that.
Elena!
I'm not that
Hi,
bad.
Dad.
I'm not a commie.
Sorry about the wait. It was an important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel
Did she
fulfilled?
have long hair before?
Longer.
Yeah.
They didn't try to make her look like a boy.
Just a little
why do you
nitpick,
ask
but
this?
why aren't they
What?
talking in Russian? Like, because they're both Russian.
Right?
It's their first language.
Yeah.
They're sitting here talking in broken English.
They want us to understand what they're saying.
Well, no, it's because the target audience is too stupid to read subtitles fast enough while still watching things.
The same ones that complain about Godzilla -1.
I just always hate those things in movies because it's like, oh, this should be talking in Russian. This is stupid.
Yep.
They should.
But
this is better, more diverse.
Yeah, bad Russian accent.
Make bad Russian joke about being full.
There is something wrong with me.
Yeah, you're kind of short.
No one cares about the character.
No one cares.
I don't know who he is.
And I don't have purpose.
John Walker staying home taking care of the baby.
Yeah, what a bro.
Like, half of these movies are so old, I've forgotten the people in them.
The work was the answer.
John Walker is a hero.
Ooh,
Yep.
9/11.
Little Florence Pugh took them all out.
I know that it's hard to actually, accept someone so tiny just
With no superpowers. Aren't you gonna just shot them all with a gun?
God, this trend of the slowing down 90s songs is so old, man. With your feet on the air, in the cloud.
It was pointed out that, like, why didn't he shoot under the suitcase? You could have just shot her in the fucking
shoot
stomach.
her in the cooch.
Yeah.
He's aiming for.
He's just messing around.
suitcase.
Then you wouldn't see it if they put subtitles there. So he's got to keep shooting up there just in case.
What, the subtitle's going to say bang, bang.
Bang bang, regurgitated 90s song. Okay, wait. All right. Everybody
I don't
remember
even
this?
remember that.
Everybody
That-
remember this character?
From Ant-Man and the Wasp.
The second one that barely
Wait, that's
anybody
the one I
remembers.
saw.
it's
Came
funny.
out 7 years ago. Or whatever it was. It's a long ass time ago, okay?
Well,
Barely
it came out
anyone
right
remembers.
before Captain Marvel, actually.
It
If
did.
I remember right. Yeah.
It did. That's Ghost, another gender swapped character from the Wasp and Ant-Man. Misunderstood villain that the
Diverse female misunderstood villain who's not really at fault.
remember we had like a good
Number
2 or
5.
3 years where it's like, ooh, this villain's obviously a man, and then they rip off the mask and go, it's a woman. They did that in fucking Solo. They did it in this. They did it in fucking Black Widow.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's tough when you have a man in the suit until you take the mask
Dude.
off. That kind of misleads you.
That's not
Black
fair.
Widow was really impressive because she even had a bulge to just like.
Dude, she had a
confuse
cod
people
piece.
At the end of the movie.
She had a cod piece.
Armor, okay.
And she Taskmistress is in this too.
Well, they got the guy playing her until the helmet comes off.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Who
That's
are you?
Sentry.
I'm Bob.
Is that? Hang on. No.
Yes.
No.
That's Sentry.
Really?
Yep.
Bob.
Piss off.
Okay, confirmed he only has
No.
5 fingers. Just,
Okay. Because he was on the poster and we asked that, and I was like, nah, that can't be Sentry. No way that
It
would.
is.
They couldn't get a blonde guy, or
No. Hey, well,
No,
they had an Asian guy and he backed out.
it was
They've just
it was a smart move.
They've just immediately
fair.
shot at everyone they've ever seen in this room until he turns up, and then oh no, we're not going to shoot that one specifically.
he doesn't have a cool costume.
Oh,
They show
they just
parts
hit
of it.
uniforms.
Yeah.
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. Were you were all sent?
Good job that didn't happen. before.
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Robbing government labs. Contract kills.
So why should I care about any of you? Like, why should I support these people in the movie if they're all just horrible people?
misunderstood. Don't you understand? We have too many heroes. Now we need bad Russian
I
accent.
bet he's not
That's
missing
the
that.
real hero.
I bet
That's
he's
the
just
hero.
an
He's the only
asshole.
one.
It's the real hero right here. This one takes care
Yeah.
of terrorists.
It's
Yep.
so wild to see the
Headshots 'em.
timeline go from DC constantly chasing Marvel's tail and then getting a movie like Suicide Squad. It's sucking, but it's doing very well to the point where now that Marvel is sucking, they're trying to chase Suicide Squad vibes. This is weird.
When arguably, I'll say the Suicide Squad is one of their best movies.
yeah.
It did the worst.
Yeah.
It didn't do great in the box office, but it's one of their best movies.
And you know
I
why
like
they're
that
doing
movie.
this
Yep.
too, though? This is also just part of their whole anti-police thing. Back before we used to have the good guys are the good guys, and now we have, well, the bad guys aren't actually that bad, so that way we can justify our own bad actions because we know we do bad things, but the end game is what matters. Totally.
Well, it's because
all
they
about
believe
moral
that everything.
relativism. Moral relativism. That's all.
It's because they believe everything is equal, so that heroes aren't good because they decide to do good things. They're good because they were born into an environment that pushed them to be good. Whereas the criminals are just persecuted by their environment. They were just born poor. They can't help it. But if we actually teach them that this is the right way to be, suddenly they'll be heroes just like everyone else. And if they were born in the other guy's position, they'd be heroes too.
They didn't mean
so
to
you
steal
can't
your
punish the villains.
They need to do better.
Why use the word
Senator?
bad when a word like good exists?
Because, that word good, Hollywood does not understand, clearly.
Like, question mark? Good.
Good?
Yeah, what is truth?
This? Do you mean viciously raping people in your office? Is that not?
That's not good. I don't know.
What about writing
Is that
a
a
play
line?
about it? Does that get me
Should that
off?
be a
Does
line
that
we
make
don't
me a
cross?
good person?
What about walking women to Harvey Weinstein's office? Not good. Good, bad.
Is that the line?
Oh, did you see? There was a guy yesterday who was actually defending that, saying, "Oh my God, it's so misogynistic for everybody to think that that's such an own on Leslie. So long as the message is good, you're free to rape whoever you want."
Yep.
Was that the guy that said it was
Or
okay because she
walk the
wrote a
women
play
to
about
it.
it?
Yeah, she
That's what he
wrote a
said.
play about it like 7 years before the Me Too happened. 7 years?
So we got
she didn't
7
do
years of
anything
bad
about it.
shit.
So she knew.
I'm gonna passive
She was the
aggressively
victim.
write a play.
She was
but
so
not actually
brave
do
to
anything.
write that play
She
and
was the victim
monetize
in
it,
all
but
this.
not tell anybody. So brave.
Bro.
Someone once has gone.
Me.
You kind of lost your accent there.
What the hell?
Hey, at least Task Mistress has boob armor now, Shad. She's got boob armor.
She does.
She said what? It should be vat.
Vat?
Getting
Is
my
there
Elaine
Elaine from
clips.
Seinfeld with
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard hair?
Yes, it is. She's Madam Hydra, essentially.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're brought up with this belief that there are good guys and there are bad guys.
Bad guys.
Because,
like-
because there
she
are
sounds like
good guys
X-Ray
and
Girl.
bad guys.
Bad guys.
guys, eh?
Bad. You're bad.
Bad.
Being so bad.
Okay, look what they did to our boy Bucky here. Look at his fucking haircut. It's so oh god. What the fuck?
He looked so good back when he was
It's like almost like a
what
bowl.
is this?
He's got
That
hair.
is a wig, man.
That's a wig. It's a bad wig too.
That's one of those wigs when they do reshoots and they come back and the wig looks way worse. That's what that is.
Bro, I do think it's funny that he washed his arm in the fucking dishwasher.
That is pretty funny.
How else are you gonna wash it?
You know, it's just
Top
interesting that we were literally just talking about this nihilistic bullcrap Hollywood is spitting out, that they always want to make the bad guys sympathetic because that's who they identify with. And then literally we get a line in this trailer like, everyone thought that there were good guys and bad guys. And they're just doubling down on that theme.
They
They're
hate
trying,
the
to, they're
acolytes.
trying to appeal to lesbians still here
Yeah.
with this hair.
It's not working.
Disparu, are you going to watch this?
the moment at the start, he was like, well, my life's miserable, I got nothing for me. And he just immediately cuts to a baby. I was like, oh, maybe this movie is made for me. But didn't the Acolyte have some? This isn't about good and evil, this is about power and
Yes.
who has the right to
Yes.
use
Yep.
it. It's like,
Yep.
what a disgusting line. And they love putting them in trailers.
They do.
No, because that's what they believe. That's what they fucking believe. Let's go.
Oh.
This could get messy.
Yeah, good. Ass.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys
Century.
and there are worse guys and nothing else.
Oh, pissed off!
There's
There are
good
bad
and then
guys.
there's double good,
Yeah.
comrade.
There's bad guys and then there's worse bad guys and nothing else.
And here's your team.
No one's good.
Not
Who wants to
enough
bet that the
black
guy in the back
people.
turns on all of them because of where he's positioned right now?
Oh.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Is what you mean? The white guy from Russia? You kidding me?
Yeah, they like always walk 3 steps behind us.
Played by the socialist, by the champagne socialist, David Harbour.
Bet he's a bad guy in this film.
Yeah.
I do kind of laugh.
Even if you're
at
not
their-
born there, they hate you. Like that, the One Piece actress, they're trying
Oh,
to get
dude,
her to
that's-
kill herself.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was so sad.
It's insane.
So look at the team right here. I laugh. There's 4 discount Captain Americas.
Yeah. Yeah, a derivative Black Widow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, okay, I'll say Yeah, I mean, Bucky. Look what they've done to our boy, man. Like they were, like
This
Winter
is Wish.com, Bucky.
Winter Soldier and Civil War were like he was the source of everything in those, and it was definitely leading to him taking the mantle and a redemption arc, and he takes the mantle in the comic books, and they skipped right over him for Falcon.
With the one shot earlier in this trailer of Bucky in a tuxedo, I would rather just have a series that's literally just Bucky as a spy doing spy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Than, teaming up with a bunch of retards.
That would actually be made for Marvel fans, so we have to rethink this pitch.
Yeah.
I don't
How
know,
many
this
gay
cast is
people
pretty
can we
white.
put in it? That's true too. Where's the diversity?
I was saying that. Not enough black. What's up with that?
Ghost is a diverse lady.
Yeah.
And they're led by
No wonder
they put a mask on her. They put a mask on her. Typical Disney.
She's in whiteface.
Yeah, they made that's Black Goliath's daughter from Wasp and Ant-Man.
So adorable.
Oh, it's an asterisk.
Oh.
I think it's so that you don't have to count it as a Marvel movie later
it doesn't
on.
count.
It shouldn't be called the Thunderbolts because this is not the.
No, there's no original. And Zemo's out there. He's still out there.
Use freaking Zemo.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back. Don't bring him back.
I'm so pissed.
They'll just ruin him.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, actually, you're right. I'm glad they're not using Citizen V or any of the original Thunderbolts cast because they would ruin them. But still doesn't deserve to be called the Thunderbolts.
Oh, but hey, the good news is, I think after Agatha, there's Captain African American. This comes out in May, so it comes out just a couple of months after Captain African American, and then there's Ironheart, and then that's kind of it from this last fucking cesspool of garbage, and supposedly the turnaround is going to happen. We'll see. That's 2 years from now. We'll be 2 years older. Hopefully, the world will still be here. Not really
Are they
sure.
still going to keep that female Silver Surfer though?
Yep. You know what I heard about that? You want me to tell you?
What?
The real one comes in and just brutally murders her? That'd be great.
The plan is they are going to bring in Nornrad eventually, but this will be the first one. It's an alternate. So this is all like the Fantastic Four is taking place in an alternate universe, in the multiverse, in an alternate universe. So it's a futuristic world. It's a futuristic 60s. So yes, they're introducing the female Silver Surfer first, which is fucking retarded. But what I heard is Kevin Feige didn't want to do it, and because somebody above him was attached, really like this actress, made the call. So whether you want, I don't know what to believe on that one, but Kevin Feige does not have the final say on absolutely everything. He runs Marvel, but he doesn't run the studios. So there are people above him. So that's what I heard. But
especially now,
it's
I would
a
assume
fucking
after
terrible decision.
Phase 4.
It's wild to me. That's crazy because they'll make that decision with Marvel stuff, but they just let Kathleen Kennedy do whatever she wants.
They're scared to death of her.
She has to. I would love to know the dirt that she has because that's the only thing I can think.
Any other person on this planet would have been fired, but it's just her name, and it's not like she's got maybe she does have dirt, but I think it's just more she's got a lot of respect from a lot of powerful people that other people like Bob Iger don't want. Bob Iger doesn't want to piss off Steven Spielberg, Frank Marshall, and George Lucas. Like he just doesn't want to piss those people
and
off.
also her husband. It's like a combined thing of fear.
And Kathleen Kennedy was George Lucas's pick before Disney took over. So that's in Bob Iger's book. So keep that in mind. But yeah.
It just amazes me that they still want these positions. Like Kathleen Kennedy's 71. I would have been wanting to be retired years ago, no matter what was happening. I wouldn't want to try and hang on to my position for literally as long as I can. Or like even in Bob Iger's case, actually getting someone else to replace you to then coming back.
I want to go sit on the beach all day and drink.
Yeah,
exactly.
Booze.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
But like, imagine even if you like agree with the politics at Lucasfilm, imagine like being the boss there and having to be the boss of all those retards. That would be just mind-numbingly. I'd want to swallow a bullet at that point. That sounds like
Lucasfilm. I guarantee you is full of it. It is like I swear it has to be like a little high school. Bunch of it's got that all those
Hollywood
women,
is.
mean girls running around there.
Hollywood is for the most part. in every facet. It's a fucking high school. That's all it is, with a lot more drugs and a lot more debauchery.
Maybe that's why they want to stay.
Eyes Wide Shut parties and
Eyes Wide Shut. It's a
Bottles
documentary.
of
It's a
Freaky
documentary.
parties.
It's a documentary.
Baby oil.
I still think that's what got him killed.
I do too. R.I.P. Stanley Kubrick. So fucking Marvel. But there's going to be a little break, at least with Star Wars, for the next. I think the next thing to come out is Andor. Skeleton Crew's coming up. Then Andor. What? I don't even count Skeleton Crew. Sorry, I think that's going to be like Star Trek Prodigy. It's just going to be people are going to forget about it.
It sounds like the same premise too.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot like the same premise.
It clearly seems like a truly for kids type of show.
Yeah.
I have no real true investment in it, but yeah, then Andor will come out in sometime in 2025.
When's Ahsoka season 3 coming out?
Season 2, you mean?
I mean season 2. Sorry,
I'm
like,
I'm getting ahead of myself. It's been so long. It feels like there should be a season 3.
My guess
Season
would
2.
be 2026 or something.
So yeah,
'Cause I don't think they've actually started like shooting Ahsoka. Because I still think they're working on. I think the focus is still on what is it called? The Mando movie. I think they're still like actively working on the Mando Grogu movie, and then after that, they'll probably go into production on Ahsoka season 2.
It's gonna be called Ahsoka All Along.
Lizzo's character will be the key to everything.
Yeah, what are people gonna say when Lizzo's character shows up 200 pounds lighter in the next?
Into good shape.
I love it.
Good shape.
I made a
she's doing
suggestion for her because she's Thin Lizzo, and she should become a Thin Lizzy like cover band. She should do Thin
Yes.
Lizzo and then sing Thin Lizzy songs and call it Thin Lizzo.
Has the media called her toxic for losing that weight yet?
Probably.
'Cause that's what I'm waiting
No,
for.
but they will. They're gonna turn against her.
What we've found out is bullying works, ladies and
They
gentlemen.
did that to Adele. They
Shame.
turned on her when she
South Park is
They
why
did.
she's losing that weight.
Really?
100%.
Yes.
You think
Oh,
so?
yeah. She was pissed.
His reaction.
She was so
Why was
mad
South
about
Park
it.
so bad?
So mad.
What did they say in South Park that
Because
was so
they
bad?
called
I saw
out
it, I
her-
just don't remember.
She was
They
fat.
called out her shit, how she's like making it okay to be a fat fuck like that. Like,
No. There was a commercial. Like, everybody wanted to get Ozempic, right? Is that what it's called? Ozempic. And when the doctors couldn't prescribe it because they were out because all these fucking women were using it, they said, well, can we prescribe you Lizzo, which is basically shaming you, and realize it makes you go home and realize, well, I'm not that fat because I'm not as fat as Lizzo. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, it
they
just lowers your
They did a
standards.
fucking commercial for it and everything.
That's how fat you are.
Iron, man.
That's so fucking good.
Yeah, I thought it was that like when you take Lizzo, you don't care if you're fat and just
Yeah.
Take Lizzo.
you flaunt it.
It was such a good episode. We haven't had one
I
since.
wonder if Lizzo is just pretending to work out, but really she's just shooting Ozempic.
That's
Maybe.
probably true.
100%. Well, she probably is working out as well, but
She has videos of her working out, and
I've seen him.
You do need to work out while you take Ozempic, or you're just going to be a fucking bag of bones. Like you need to keep that muscle going.
Yeah, you're gonna end up looking like Kevin Smith.
You look like
Oh,
Sharon
oh.
Osbourne. Oh, Jesus. But enough Ozempic talk. Let's get into the Rings of Power. Oh fuck.
Brace.
before that, can we talk about a sad
Yeah.
death in the entertainment industry?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Maggie.
Dame Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith passed away. How old was she? Lived a good long
89.
life. 89 years
that's a very
old.
long
And
story.
is it true that she died exactly 1 year later than Michael Gambon?
I don't know. I don't remember when he passed away.
It was
but
last year, and today's the 27th. But I don't know if she.
I've seen a lot of pictures.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen a lot of pictures of Dumbledore, Snape, and McGonagall today.
Yeah.
Of course, throwing Hagrid in there as well.
Robbie
Man,
Coltrane.
so many of them.
So
many of them.
Yeah, British institution. She was in absolutely everything. She was great as Mrs. McGonagall. Rest in peace. Lost another
Somebody
legend.
reminded me today of her in Sister Act. I totally forgot that she was in Sister Act. She's great in that too.
I didn't see Sister Act.
Oh man.
When did Sister Act come out?
It's like
Probably
early
when you were in
90s.
fucking prison,
90s.
to be honest.
Probably, yeah. There's a little, there's like,
The void of time.
there's a
in your
void
life.
of time in my movie watching. Okay. Batman
Had to catch
Returns
up.
was in there. I missed Batman Returns. That
dude.
fucking, that hurt.
The
That-
greatest Christmas movie ever made.
Dude, that one hurt, man. I'm like, I gotta wait to get out to watch that.
The fact that she
Watching
looked
from the-
older in Hook than she did at any other point in her life shows you how amazing that makeup was in Hook.
Yeah, she was in Hook. She was Wendy in Hook.
She was Wendy in Hook.
May 29th, 1992, Gary. Were you
Wow.
Oh, I was locked up. Yeah.
otherwise occupied? Yeah.
Yep. All of 92. Pretty much all of 90, part of 91, all of 92, and all but like a couple of weeks of 93. I got out. I got out December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, and 3 weeks, and went straight to a Charger game. Saw the Chargers play the Packers. Never forget it.
Wow.
It's fucking great. Yeah, good times. And then I didn't see Batman Returns on the big screen for years. I had to wait for a re-release to watch it on the big
Tragic,
screen. It was tragic. Yeah. I saw Batman Forever on the big screen before I saw Batman Returns on the big
I just
screen.
watched that too on Batman Day. It was awesome.
Batman Day.
Holds up a little bit better than Batman and Robin. but
Oh, wait a
What,
minute.
Forever?
Still some bad stuff in Forever.
Forever's I like it, but it's not a good movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not.
It's okay.
I'm not
I
crazy.
think
No, okay.
Jim
but it's-
Carrey
it's
and,
good
and Tommy
stuff,
Lee
man.
Jones's performances
At
are really
the
good.
time, you're hearing about this Joel Schumacher directing, the guy who did Lost Boys and Falling Down.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is playing Two-Face. Jim Carrey's playing the Riddler. Val Kilmer's playing Batman. And you're like, this is going to be the greatest fucking Batman. This is going to be the greatest movie ever. And then they made this fucking cartoon, and you're like, what the fuck? To
Half
where
of that movie is good Batman stuff. I swear. People forget about the good drama stuff, and a lot of it they did cut out. I wish they would come out with that Schumacher cut. But yeah, there is some cartoony stuff in there. It's over the top for sure.
Yeah, needed to be a little more earnest and a little less gay. Nipples on the batsuit. Come on, get the fuck out.
Get rid of the nipples. Get rid of the freaking nipples, man. That first costume is great, except for the nipples.
Except for the nips. Oh, Rings of Power. So penultimate episode, they have been touting this all like from pretty much the end of season one. It's like, oh, we're gonna do the battles because one of the criticisms they decided to focus on from season one that it was slow. It was retarded and slow. They should have probably worked on the retarded part more. But like after season one, there was no fixing this show. Just canonically, there's no fixing this show. There's no reason to do what they did. They being Amazon wanted to ship Sauron with Galadriel. And this caused a rift in the production in the beginning to where a lot of people left. A lot of people left because they were holding on to this. It was, pushed by Jennifer Salk and others. And once you did that, your foundation was fucked for the show forever. So they're going to swing back around to the, Anatar and like we're getting in the weeds to most normies. So you take away the lore from the show. It's a piece of shit. This was directed and edited so poorly. I have a clip I can put up. Garrett, did you see the clip in the edit of the guy getting hit by nothing on the battlements? Yeah. Like he's just flailing around.
Wait,
I'll
hold on
get
a
the
second,
clip.
Gary. They said that it's directed by all women this season.
All women
That's
this season.
supposed to be the greatest show ever.
During my watch party,
the selling point.
I said it looked like it was directed by a woman who's only directed soap operas. Like it was fucking terrible.
CW shows.
Yeah.
Even when Gilgadaddy was riding along at the end and he stabs the troll, he's not stabbing the troll at all because he leans all the way down to reach the ground. It's just like a normal
Disparu.
orc. The troll would be in the camera view.
I don't want to get too far ahead, but did you notice that in the original charge that when Doogie Elrond got there with the elves of Linden,
that he's there and then he vanishes?
He's there. They acknowledge that he's there. He nods to him. Then
it zooms in on him.
Okay, number one. No, High King Gilgalad, a warrior king, would be leading that fucking charge. He's the most formidable warrior there. He could take out probably all of that orc camp by his fucking self. Adar would be his fucking prison bitch by the time it was done. He disappears. He's not involved in the parlay. And then in the scene later, Doogie Elrond acts like he just showed up. He's all, "What are you doing here?"
You're not supposed to be here.
You're not
is his
supposed to
exact
be
wording.
here.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, why would a king put himself in danger? It's like, well, I'm needed here. It's like, you've just watched your people die in a battle you know was lost.
Yes.
They all were like, no, we're all going to die when we do this, unless the dwarves turn up. And he only decides to end up right at the very end.
So
What looks like
there's
one of the
two ways
best
to look
fighters.
at that. There's two ways to look at that. He was added in with reshoots, and they forgot that they put him in earlier in the show, or he was in earlier and he was part of that battle, which makes no sense. Then he'd be part of the much more important battle later on. Either way, horrible fucking editing. Like, there's no excuse. You spent this much fucking money and you can't keep track of your own continuity in your show. That wasn't even the most egregious thing.
So
Entire battle had
It was
no
Don
continuity.
Lemon dying.
What was the selling?
That was my
point of
favorite
this,
part.
that It was directed by women or whatever.
Medania.
Yeah, so Amazon made a point to say there's going to be more action this season, and all the episodes will be directed by women. Some episodes, 2 of them, were directed by 2 women.
Okay, so they're basically making an argument for why the 19th Amendment needs to be repealed then, because if this is their fucking selling point, like, they're just embarrassing us and just honestly lock us to the fucking kitchen at this point.
Well,
I wouldn't trust them to make a sandwich, to be honest with you.
one of the hardest things to get through this episode was just how bafflingly dumb
Everybody
all the
is.
everything was, but the battlefield tactics were particularly retarded.
I was thinking of
all
you,
right?
Shad.
Because women aren't generals. They don't
Well,
understand how to fucking do any of that. They don't understand battles on average. And so these self-serving women with big fucking egos for no reason, as big as the fake tits that you can get over in Hollywood, they have no idea what they're doing. They've never played Command and Conquer even. Like, what the fuck?
I love how, for one, I just want to point out
Empires?
just want to point out that Savvy's really making up for Ryan's fucking retarded internet and Jeremy not being here. As a matter of fact, she's out doing both of them. So thank you, Savvy.
Yep.
Of
Keep
course.
up the misogyny.
You know, they did bring in on this episode one male director, and his name is Simon Curtis. Like, it was Charlotte Branstrom for most of them, but they brought in Simon Curtis because I watched it at the end of the episode. They had like a not like a post scene credit, but they
After the
they,
show.
and after the show where they interview them, and the Simon, I thought it was so funny. The Simon Curtis guy was like, I guess his daughter played an orc. And he was talking
the second
about
unit
like
one. Yeah.
he was talking about like I just heard her voice. I turned around and there she was, dressed like an orc. I almost didn't recognize her. And then he was like, "Oh,
the
sex
second
and
unit
improvement."
director.
He actually
okay.
said something I hated, though. He said, we make movies, not television. I'm like, that's why. You should be making television.
Well,
you can keep
yes.
a thought going for like 90 minutes, and then you run out. So you don't have the skill required to make a television show. You have to keep it going for hours upon hours upon hours.
That is a great point, and something we pointed out with Disney in particular, and with these new streamers that haven't been like, how does HBO manage to still make good TV shows? Because they've been making TV for decades now, and you got these newbies coming in, and they're hiring movie people who do. I go through and edit clips. We have hundreds of clips at this point, Garrett, of for both seasons of Rings of Power, but this season in particular,
Hours.
people talk like this the whole show. There's giant gaps. That's why I cut down the clips because, for one, there's like a 9-second rule kind of on YouTube. But like, it's fucking boring. I have to just speed up the conversation because it's like, Jesus Christ, just get to the point. You know, when
it's like watching a conversation in Ahsoka.
It is.
Yeah,
it is
exactly the same.
That happens
Exactly the
because
same.
of really bad fan fiction writers. What they do to pad out content is they add a bunch of ellipses and then useless dialogue. So that way they try to set up some sort of emotional connection and make it seem like it's a serious moment by talking slower and putting emphasis on it because they don't trust the reader to be able to decipher any of the meaning that they would otherwise have in a natural conversation. And because of that, and because nobody's ever critiqued their work, because God forbid you say something bad about somebody's shit, they've just never been told no. They've never been told to speed it along. They've never been told to cut this dialogue because it's senseless.
You can do that when you build up the respect from the audience and you use that moment where somebody speaks slowly to build that emphasis once Maybe twice an episode. Not every single line.
Not every single conversation.
Every single
The place
one.
for it would have been during speech. Like during a
Yes.
speech, you can understand people going, "Oh, this is actually really deep,"
it's
but
getting
not
a
just a
little time.
random conversation between Sauron and Celebrimbor, where it's like, "Oh, my Morgoth hurt me, and I had a bad childhood."
Oh my God!
Like,
Yeah,
no.
fucking Sauron shares his past trauma, and it sounds like Morgoth diddled Sauron. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, once again, though, it's not his fault that he's evil for his decisions. He was just in a bad environment, so you can't really.
And
blame
that's where
Sauron for it.
they kind of
Can't
pluck.
judge him by his past.
They pluck something from the lore and completely misunderstand it and present it wrong, because that was Sauron's goal, right? To perfect. But
it's so frustrating because there's so many problems with the entire show. One is the order in which they're doing things, which makes doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The order in which they made the rings, the idea that Celebrimbor is the only person that interacted with Anatar this entire time, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Adar is not a character who actually exists, and he's not making decisions that make sense with what we know about orcs, right? The idea that he would stop and have a parlay and ask to team up and do all these things is insane. The fact that Elrond would stop the charge and give up their tactical advantage all because they might hurt Galadriel in the process is dumb and retarded. The idea that Elrond kisses Galadriel, his future mother-in-law, by the way, that Elrond kisses Galadriel, and yes, we know it was used as a setup so he could slip her something so she could get out of the cuffs. There are 100 ways to write that scene, whether it's just a hug, whether it's him just taking her hand, whether it's her grabbing her face and saying, "I'm sorry, good friend, goodbye." There are a million ways you can do that without having them kiss. But they wanted them to kiss because that's who this is for, the shippers and the freaks and the weirdos out there.
Go on, Disparu.
The interviews make that kiss far worse because Alron's done one where he said when he kisses her because he's saying goodbye. In his mind, she's dead at that point. I'm like, well, if she's dead at that point, why didn't you just continue the charge? If all along you were never going to deal with these people and she was always going to be dead, take them by surprise when the leader of the military is right in front of you.
And that probably would have saved her life. All they need to do is charge around her and not hit her
Dude,
cage.
this never...
To be fair, I would have stabbed her on the way past.
Like a precise elf would.
For one, everything about this is fucking retarded. Okay, this would never happen canonically. It was a romantic kiss. If you're kissing your fucking mother like that, then you've got a fucking problem. Any retard defending this on Twitter, this is your line in the sand. I'm calling out every single fucking shill. The Tolkien professor, OneRing.net. Defend this shit. Do it right fucking now. I'd love to see it. Nerd of the Rings. Go out to your next fucking screening, take a picture, and then defend this fucking shit. You fucking frauds.
But
wait. Hang on. That's his future mother-in-law. That's like, hey, screw it. This is a good time to show it, right, Garrett? I've got it uploaded.
Just before that, you want about screenings? There is a screening in London for the finale. Next Thursday. It'll be interesting to see who goes.
Yeah.
I went to the free screening for the first 2 episodes.
But this is a special one. It's in
on.
London. There's interviews with the cast and everything. And it was very limited. It's a special Empire. We're giving away tickets for it. So,
Garrett and I found some. You're gonna have to put us to the side, Garrett, for this one.
Pull this in.
Yeah, because we found some. We found an exclusive deleted scene that has never been seen before from Lord of the Rings. Just wanted to show it to you. Yeah, this is like the first time anybody's ever seen it. You ready?
Exclusive. Serious or mean? I'm excited.
You got it?
I got it. Ready to go.
Right.
Here we go.
Ready.
Arwen. Tolenilu. Ichaer Gwannar Navalano Sibado no Kirar.
Never before seen.
Why'd they cut that out?
Wow.
Never before seen clip.
after he kissed her, he just leans over
Extended,
near her and goes, I'm going to shag your daughter later.
Yep. That's going to be part of the 35th anniversary.
hang on. Is her daughter born at this point?
They haven't mentioned it at all.
Should be.
Also, Celeborn is just fucking missing.
Yes, by the way.
Still.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess everyone just assumes he's dead or whatever, but she still has a husband who is supposedly living right now. as they're using her to ship all these people with.
She's giving Nenya. She takes off through Moria with her daughter Celebrian. She stays there for a little time before she leaves Tolkien.
They've shipped Galadriel with Sauron. They were doing some like eye contact with Adar, and now Elrond. Is she just like the?
But they really screwed up with
She's
this.
a hoe.
So
Faux show.
the only reason why like incest worked in Game of Thrones and why people just didn't get revulsed all the time is because both of the actor and the actress were fucking hot. So when you have ugly people trying to sell Wincest, like nobody, not even shippers are getting behind that. And if they are, holy shit, those are some ugly fat bitches.
Well,
They're definitely getting
the
behind it.
context, the
It's
context
still gonna
of the
whinge
show,
even if it's
it was a
silly
secret,
people.
and it wasn't okay inside the show. Like that's what it's. They hid it from people. It wasn't just an open thing. Like what? This is weird.
Well, for Targaryens, it is. Targaryens are the exception. Targaryens are like higher
Targaryens,
beings. They are allowed by law to have incest.
Yeah.
Whereas the normal person cannot. Like the Lannister is not allowed to. Right? So that is absolutely
Well,
forbidden.
Aegon Targaryen.
It's different because that. George R. R. Martin's world is much different than Tolkien's world, okay?
Yes.
And the elves, the embodiment of fucking like light and pureness, that's why it comes off so poorly. It wouldn't matter if it was the hottest people in the world in this scene right here between those two. It's fucked up because they know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was just for controversy, just for shipping reasons, whatever, but it's beyond the pale of stuff that they've already put into this show.
Yeah, especially since they were trying to use that as a way to get her the item that she would need to cut herself free. It's like, I'm sorry, you could have done that with a hug.
Dude, everything about this scene was fucking retarded. For one,
Yeah.
they led a charge. Elrond led the charge. Gilgadaddy was there. They have fucking Belen helmets. They look like penis heads.
Worst.
They parlay with the fucking orcs. So that would never happen. And the orcs allow them to sit. For one, he's unarmed, but the dude with them isn't. So like what? Why? And and soon as Doogie Elrond says "fuck you" to the deal, all the orcs would kill them. The orcs would kill them anyway.
Wait, why aren't they? Why aren't they eating them right now?
Because they want to show the orcs as sympathetic. Like
they're
they're
just
showing
good
this
people
leader
trying to get by.
who's showing restraint and stuff like that. Because the orcs they're just like the fucking refugees. They're just trying to find a place,
Illegals.
and they need to.
They want a better life.
He's being mean.
Why
These
are
people
they
do not
trying to
believe
make
in
that
pure evil.
parallel?
Yeah.
Well, it's weird though because they're kind of showing both. You've got Adar and that other guy who keeps appearing, who's the father guy, who seem to have more intelligence than the rest. But then later in the episode, when Adar's like no charge, there are loads of people just immediately ditch what they're doing and run out at speed because they can't wait to get to the fight.
Yeah.
So I think they think this is their nuance that some of the orcs are special, but the rest of them are evil, and you can't judge all the orcs by the evil ones.
Is everyone just bad in this show, or is everybody just
Generally,
like, good?
Yes. No. I mean,
it's like
okay.
the Thunderbolts. There are bad people and worse people.
Yeah, they really went off with this morally gray bullshit, and there's morally gray characters in Tolkien for sure, but like there's still very much good versus evil, and they're trying to make this morally gray. Now, when you mean good, there's no good characters in this show. The only character that died that I gave a shit about was Doogie Elrond's horse.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
That was
that's probably
a Witcher moment.
and that was probably the horse that they actually killed because they did kill a horse during the
I had
production
a heart
of this.
attack because it saw the script.
Yeah.
On purpose?
But this entire battle, I don't huge because the elves have basically just turned into people, and so everyone's having like 1v1 fights all over the battlefield compared to like the Lord of the Rings movies where they move like perfectly. They're all in parallel. They all line up, and you could have had it with this. You could have had the cavalry just moving in like perfect unison. They all get off their horses and just start marching across the battlefield in line and just like slaughter everything in their path instead of just. Is there ever a battle where everyone's having 1v1 fights across the entire battlefield?
Rarely do battles devolve into melees like that. Holding ranks is such a crucial part in battlefield tactics, but the battlefield tactics in this episode are so unbelievably retarded.
Oh, there's our guy.
Like,
There's our guy who gets hit by the one on the right.
Here.
Right? No. Go to the right.
This
Go
guy?
to the right. Go to the right.
This guy?
Right there. That guy right there. He's like hit play real quick. Can you hit play?
It's not this shot. It's a different shot.
Oh, it's a
but
different
it is
shot.
in the same spot.
It's in that same spot. Okay, no, you're right. It's the other side where a guy gets hit by nothing. But don't. Sorry, go on, Chad. Go on, Chad.
well, talking about the battlefield tactics, right? And so the trebuchets already have way too much range than they naturally would just shooting over the river. Then they turn them and they shoot what 4 miles into the side of a mountain, and it knocks down half the mountain. And guess what? Like, guys, you know there's a mountain face just behind the city that you could knock that mountain range and just crush the city? Let alone if you can take out a mountain range, those city walls should be absolutely knackered if they're that freaking powerful. They're like, the retardation on that is just unbelievable.
Well, they were so precise about it too.
Yeah,
I mean, for one, they turning those trebuchets around so fucking quick and then hitting a perfect fucking shot. That was like impressive.
Yeah, that was when X-Ray Girl was getting arrowed.
They have to make the range, and it's like not unironically like several miles through the air into that mountain. It's insane.
Like early, right? Yeah,
Further, they can't take a wall down.
If
it has that much power that it can throw it that far, then guess what? You just put that right up against the wall, that blasts the wall apart.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. And like, you don't need to be like particularly clever or know medieval history to figure out. Look at the range. That's the range right there. Like, holy crap!
The entire mountain rests on that one.
Those are some fucking
rock.
awesome walls right there. I hope they.
I mean,
that's what the wall around America should be.
Those trebuchets are friggin' more powerful than modern day artillery. It's insane.
Dude, my favorite part is when like a Region is getting fucking pelted and people are just outside having little chit chats. And when Sauron comes out and talks to modernity, dude, I laughed so hard when she died. I was.
It was really funny, actually. Yeah.
So,
he just force pushes her off, and they blame it all on Celebrimbor. It was legitimately funny.
That was the thing, though. He was like, "I will make sure you get what you deserve." So Sauron seems to know that the people that work with him are just evil, and they don't deserve to live anyway in his world. So the moment she was like, "No, I'll do whatever you want," Sauron is like, "You will definitely die."
He's actually
Master of disguise right there.
Yep.
The orc pit. Orc pit.
Yeah, this is the
Stage
hero
dive.
who just like sees it all. He's like, "Well, here we go."
Oh.
No, I like
Every time
it.
every time something happens, he always has his little "I am evil" smirk.
Yeah, they cut to Smirk Man.
What was it Amazon
all
said?
by
Evil
my
in the
design.
front, dainty in the back.
They said it. They fucking said it. Oh God. My favorite part. I have a lot of favorite parts. When Don Lemonless fucking shows up during the battle and then sits out the entire battle to show up later to save Galadriel after she after that parlay, she gets herself out and she puts on a fucking hood with her hair hanging out and doesn't get recognized in the orc camp. They all have
a lot of blondes.
And why would she leave her pin behind, showing how she got out?
She's careless. She gets saved.
Really 4D chess. We're going to find out later.
So Don Lemonless kills a bunch of orcs, and then they somehow escape without any of the orcs noticing or chasing them. Then they cross the entire fucking battlefield, and somehow she sneaks into the castle to save Celebrimbor at the end.
Should they say I entered this through a secret tunnel? Like, why don't the orcs go through that tunnel?
Why don't
do you want the
why don't the elves take that fucking tunnel to leave?
There's the way to safety. Send the women and children through the tunnel. Going back to the girl that got yeeted off that wall, I found it funny because when they showed her on the wall early in the episode, I was wondering why is she there? She's not a warrior. She's not a general. Why is she in the most dangerous part in the whole city? And it turns out the only reason she's there is to get thrown off the wall and die.
Seriously, there's nothing stopping an arrow from going straight through her head right now.
Yeah,
I would have taken that as well. Like as long as she's in the series.
Is there anybody on like who's leading the guard up here on the wall? Like they would say,
Well,
"Hey,
she seems to be
out of here." She actually does.
Yeah.
It does imply that she's
She's the one that notices they're damming up the river when they fire the rocks 4 miles and perfectly knock down a cliff.
Don't you make rings, bitch? Get out of here! Like we're trying to.
Jula.
What are you doing?
That was something I really liked. That one siege thing, which is pulling bricks somehow out of the wall. Yeah. They only sent one of them. We know they have exploding arrows and bags bags of explosive pyre material, and no one even shoots at them. They don't do anything. They just let it take stones out. The entire fight.
Disparu, bags of explosive, bags of freaking TNT that explode in this massive,
They wanted to play
Not
Jenga,
as much TNT
okay?
as
Yeah, they did.
Play a great game of Jenga, all right? That's all it wanted.
They had their napalm going
I have never
off.
seen wood explode as much as that siege
But-
thing does at the end.
crazy.
That was wild.
It's hard to explain without showing it, but the editing and the actual, like, the sword play, the fighting, the editing is so sloppy and bad. It was laughable. Like, it's
terrible.
Because no one told these people no. Nobody decided, oh, we have our diversity consultant, but we don't need a combat expert. We don't need to talk to a general. We don't need to talk to anybody who knows any form of strategy. We're not going to consult with other good directors. We're going to do this our way, and it's going to be so empowering.
Well, we've learned all about toxic positivity in these circles over the past week, and we've gotten to see what it does to these products. Man, they don't listen to anybody. You're not allowed to criticize anything
because women's agency is the most powerful thing.
That's right.
Speaking of women's agency, can we acknowledge X-Ray Girl's sacrifice in this episode?
Finally, thank you.
What a great shot she was.
Yeah. So they repurposed, dude. They mashed up Braun from Battle of the Blackwater and Boromir's death with X-Ray Girl. It's unbelievable. It's the same thing. She shoots. People look at the arrow. No, it doesn't blow up wildfire, but it's the same. It's a very similar shot. You'll see it in my video. And it's after the Mike Ehrmantraut troll, this thing they've been touting all fucking season, walks across a battlefield, bites one guy's head off, gets fucking killed. There's no other trolls. Now, like, they only had $1 billion, guys. So let's keep that in mind. But
Gil-Gadadi doesn't stab it because I don't think he was meant to be in the battle at all. So they only have a shot of him hitting an orc with his spear,
hitting something with his spear. Does it show?
Yeah, really low on the ground.
Really low on the ground. I thought he was like fucking shooting him in the balls with that one, but
it was just like, no, we've got to have him in the big moment of killing the troll. So they just edited it in, whether it made sense or not.
Yeah, he was definitely reshoots for sure.
And was this like? Remember when they made a big deal about Mike Ehrmantraut?
Yes.
Like they wanted a troll to have a big Mike Ehrmantraut arc. This was it. This was what they were talking about. I don't feel like we had enough character development for this troll to call him Mike Ehrmantraut.
More like Abomination from Hulk.
It did. But again, they only had $1 billion, so they couldn't put any more trolls, and that troll is now gone. There's Gil-Gadadi.
So, Gary, I was just wanting to mention with Extra Girl Sacrifice, that was hilarious because
it was so
suddenly,
fucking funny.
out of nowhere, she's about to, take the shot to explode the napalm-laden, siege engine, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, she gets peppered by up to 6 or 7 arrows.
Then she pulls one out of her fucking back. She pulls one. No, and Shad, I was thinking of you. She pulls one out of her back because, like, she's manly, and then she lights her arrow that's covered in her blood. And it catches a fire? How is that possible?
Yeah, so I actually couldn't tell if she pulled it out of herself or if she was pointing it from her quiver.
She had one in her quiver.
It looked like she pulled it. She was shot. It looked like she pulled it out of her back shoulder to me.
I assumed that it was out of the quiver because it did light on fire. So, but I don't know.
But my favorite arrow was the one after she'd fired it, and she's like, yeah, I did it. She's already dead at this point with that many arrows. And then there's just one more that looks like it came from the wall. Like one of the elves have just shot her on the way past.
Just die already. Why won't you die?
The timing felt like a comedy movie, like I was watching Hot Shots
it might be
or something like that.
Quiver.
When it's like in the crucial moment, suddenly everyone decides to shoot her all at once from multiple directions. It's like, bam! It's like, wow, that's inconvenient timing.
I know.
There was no call out or sign that she was a danger or anything. And
and like, the flame is about to go out, and she's pulling her arrow back.
Center of San Francisco. That's why she got targeted.
Yeah. So look at the flame; it's like barely hanging on right there before she shoots.
That archery.
Everyone looks at it.
Everybody looks at it. It blows up.
I mean, look at that. It only landed in like an oil pot or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know why it's on the thing.
It's freaking TNT, and there's a secondary explosion that's also just as big from the thing.
That's because a woman did it.
Wee.
The power of PMS compels you.
There you go.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there's no one in that legion to do math anymore. So, because she died.
Oh, right.
R.I.P. X-Ray Girl. So, yeah, the sack of Region was Sauron coming out of Mordor, and it took, for one, Sauron was in Region for, I'm going off the top of my head, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, 300 years?
This was a
long fucking time.
Long time compared to this. This was like a weekend.
And when he sacks Region and gets in there, he grabs all the lesser rings, all the ones that were basically what they worked up to get the main rings, and then he gets the 9 and he learns of the 7 after he tortures Celebrimbor. In this, they haven't made the rings for men yet, so they're still doing this while the battle is going on, which is so stupid. And Sauron's already in Region, which he does later. So this is all fucking out of order. Adar does not exist at all. They have him leading the fucking army. There's no, just for like everything about this is nonsensical and stupid. Like if you wanted to set out to make the worst adaptation of all time, this is it. Like you have to try to be this retarded.
Gary,
Chad's excited.
They reveal in this episode why Sauron manipulated Adar to come attack Region, and I can't believe how retarded it is. Okay, and so the whole reason he did it is to force Celebrimbor to finish the rings. But the only reason Celebrimbor doesn't want to finish the rings is because the city is getting besieged, and so it's to solve a problem of his own making that wouldn't exist.
I don't know. Wouldn't it make more sense to have him be there in the first place, make all the rings, have them all, well, supposedly done, except for the 3 that were made in secret, and then sack the city and take them? Wouldn't that, because that's what happened canonically. That would make more sense. But
Celebrimbor had no intention of handing the rings to Sauron in the first place. So why did he even finish them? Because he just gives them to Galad. Doesn't tell her that they're evil rings covered in his blood or anything. That's not an important piece of information.
Oh, God.
You just wouldn't work on them. You'd just be like, no, I'm not going to do anything. Well, I'm going to make you hurt. Okay, then. It's like, that would be the sacrifice that would make him good. But if you finish the rings for Sauron, now you're evil. And so when he does his speech about how light overpowers strength, he's an evil character telling Galadriel about how light is going to overcome everything. So it's like, I didn't care about his speech either.
No.
They try to make Sauron out to be this master manipulator, but he's the biggest moron in the world. It's like, do you realize by getting an army to attack the place that you're trying to make these special doomsday weapons, everything like that could screw up your entire plan? And in fact, it almost does. You're right. But you know, then why did he? It's because he read the script beforehand, and that's literally the reason. It's to
Have
solve
you taken
the
into
problem that
account
he
there's only 8
created
episodes?
Oh my
He's like,
God.
look, I need to truncate all this.
The only benefit was that Iluvatar clearly hated all of them because every time Celebrimbor stepped out of that tower, a rock was guided towards his face. He got 2 steps out and just boom, immediately.
So do you think they're going to go forward and still do another 2 seasons of this show, or do you think one more season and that's it?
I think the plans will definitely change because if you do the math, it takes 2 years to make this. So it's the 5th season will be out in 2030.
Woo.
I think they're going to shorten.
I think they're going to shorten it up, and they'll still do 5 seasons, but they'll be of 4 episodes each or something.
Yeah. And they'll tout it as like big, huge episodes.
How do you justify it when no one finishes it? I mean, they lost. It looks like half the audience has been gone from season,
and they've lost half of this one
because of the ego of the person running Amazon.
It's not ego. It's almost desperation at this point. Amazon isn't taken seriously in Hollywood as it is, and they wanted awards to try and be taken seriously. They already have to pay people more just because they're like, well, no, I'd actually rather prefer to work with a TV company. And so the amount of like prestige they would lose taking an eye like this and destroying it and not even getting to the final series after you bragged about it. Like even in this series, they were saying 5 seasons. I don't think they could take the reputation.
You're internally in the industry. This is an absolute embarrassment. It's a total embarrassment, and it should be. And you can't buy your way into an industry. Like you can try, but they'll get bored of it. And that's what Hollywood's scared of. They'll get bored of it. But I mean, go ahead, try. Fucking Paramount did 5 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. And now they're in the shitter and billions of dollars in debt. So let them do it. Fuck it. If that's the way, there was a time when you would cancel shit and not really worry about hurting somebody's ego because the bottom line fucking mattered more. Right.
Better shows have been canceled and left on cliffhangers.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
They canceled Daredevil. They canceled fucking Daredevil. I know there was rights issues involved, but think about that. One of the best
thing
shows
Marvel's made.
Best thing Marvel's made. One of the best shows made, and they fucking canceled it. So, we're in a shitty timeline right now where George R. R. Martin's work gets more care than Tolkien's because they don't. What we talked about earlier, they don't understand him at all. At all. And these fucking clowns, they went on a religious, somebody emailed it to me. They went on a Catholic podcast and they were trying to say, oh, we respect Tolkien's themes. Right before this fucking episode, go fuck yourself. You're full of shit. They're just, all they are is a bunch of fucking yes men. They're going to say whatever they're going to need to say to keep their work and to get their job and to keep those Bezos bucks going. But they don't give a flat fucking shit about the fans or Tolkien. The Tolkien estate doesn't give a shit. They're just counting their fucking money.
Yeah, 100%. They've been lying through their ass the whole time. They're bullcrap about, oh, yes, the dwarven women have beards. And it comes up, no. And it's like, we go back to the book. And then they had the goal to say season 2 would be more accurate to the source material than season 1. They're friggin' full of it. They are absolute dishonest hacks.
And it takes work. It takes work to not follow the story that's already laid out there for them.
Yeah.
It's beat for beat what you should be doing. But it takes effort to do this bad.
What were you going to say, Ryan?
At least they couldn't destroy Tom Bombadil this episode.
Yeah, thank God we didn't have any Harfoots. Jesus. I was going to say that Disparu retweeted one of the behind the scenes clips of Orondir and Gilgalad.
Find that, please.
That was rough.
Oh my gosh. And he's like, we always really wondered what if a elf who my type of elf and his type of elf met on a battlefield. It's like, no one was ever asking that question ever in their life. And you just mean you're a special type of elf because you're black? That's what you're saying.
Is what, a gay elf and a black elf? Yeah. Can't hear it.
That's probably for the best.
Why can't you hear that?
Why can't I hear it?
Probably didn't share audio. That's why.
No, should be.
I'd like to hear it.
It couldn't possibly be it.
Do you reckon R&D is properly dead?
No.
No, he's already speaking about season 3.
What they're going to do is they're going to repurpose Aragorn healing Arwen with Galadriel healing Don Lemonless.
With the ring.
Yeah. That's my guess. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. That would be funny if I was right. But.
Right in the lens. You dream as a kid about having sword fights in the mud against orcs. That's a lot of mud out here. I kind of love it. You've been in it for a while. I feel vindicated. You gotta give him his.
It's around 20 seconds in the clip.
This does it. I always thought, how would it look for an elf of my kind to fight next to an elf of his kind? They start coming.
Well, that elf probably murdered you because none of them are around in Peter Jackson's movies.
What do you mean, kind? Just not your kind.
There was a racial genocide at some point in Middle Earth.
If I said that, I would legitimately have the police at my door.
He's always thought of that, huh? It's been on his mind for such a long time. Okay, right.
I was just more blown away by that's how they actually sound.
They really wanted to make this their Two Towers, and their lack of skill was on display. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it ended up being more resemblant of 9/11.
Yeah.
Than, Two Towers.
I can't believe he said that though. What the fuck does that mean? My kind.
Okay,
you know what it means.
I'm going to steel man him right now.
People.
Maybe he's talking about the difference between the elves of Gilgalad and the elves that are fucking the Southlands.
You know that's not what he means.
All the promotion,
steel manning him.
All the promotion for this show in season 1 was all about diversity. So that's exactly what he's trying to say.
He shot himself in the foot.
And Ismael Cruz Cordova specifically has been one of the most outspoken about all of this stuff. about
Even in season
race
2.
and politics and identity politics and all this stuff. He has been one of the most outspoken of this entire cast and crew. So I have very few doubts about what he actually meant by that.
I'm just flabbergasted that they continue to get away with being the most racist fucking shallow people on the planet.
Well, did you notice in the cavalry?
It's okay when they do it.
When they lined up all the cavalry, didn't zoom in on anyone. Then it zoomed in on the Asian woman fighting.
Yes, it
and
did.
Aaron's
Yep.
brother. That was the only 2 people you saw out of everyone.
Oh, no, it zoomed in on Gilgalad to show that he was wearing a LARP sword that wasn't even fitting in the scabbard. They zoomed in on that part because they're
Look at
talented.
look at that picture. That sums it up.
Screen cap it.
That
He's
sums
grabbing
it
there.
up.
It looks like
They're
he's
holding
grabbing
arms.
something
Look,
and his
look.
reaction is
I
like,
got news
"Excuse me."
He is grabbing something.
Oh, no.
Maybe this is how you make it big in Hollywood.
Gotta do,
Let me introduce you to a man who supplies my baby oil. His name is Diddy.
Diddy.
You're leaving this on here. You're going to give shippers some ideas. Like there's probably
They
already a
already
couple of
had
them drawing this.
They already
I
had
hope
'em.
everyone gets a relationship like this, you know?
It's just like, what's
deeply into
really
each other's
happy?
eyes.
That is a picture made for Tumblr.
In this episode, we had an orc in the black speech say, "I thought you loved us."
In the black speech. The speech that will
In the black speech of Mordor.
Do not speak that here.
Don't you
I
love
actually
us?
do. The whole Celeborn stuff, I think if either him or Adara Celeborn, it's probably that second orc. Because he acts very differently to any of the others. And he's deformed enough that you wouldn't recognize him if you saw him.
Well,
if they really want to make a terrible show, that's what I'd do.
Well, they've already
That's a
done that.
theory out there, right? That
Yeah.
one of these that one of the orcs, maybe including Adar, may be like the perverted form of Galadriel's husband who's been missing. That would be. Oh my God.
I hope they do it. I'm
Me too.
really
I'm
hoping.
there. I'm there at this point. Just do it, Amazon.
Oh, please. Just at least something would happen. I mean, hopefully by next episode, Dan Galf will have picked his fucking staff and we'll find out his name. I mean, that's been a mystery for 2 seasons.
Do they just how they end the episode? Like that's how the whole season 2 ends? Is his name?
Slowly
Yes.
They did
zoom in on his
confirm
face
this
and he's like,
season, so
I am Gandalf.
Oh no! Or are they instead going to do the the random screamo song at the
Dude, what the fuck
Oh
was
yeah.
that?
That was death black metal. That's what black
Cookie
It's so
Monster
cool.
Metal.
Black
So
speech
cool at
metal.
the end.
black speech metal?
I'm just going to be upset if like Gandalf doesn't find his staff and then Tom Bombadil comes in and goes, "You have finally found your Gand, elf." Like, I just want that to be the end
Yeah.
of the series.
Oh my god.
And do so like it's hard to convey to someone who hasn't paid attention or looked at this, right? How utterly and astoundingly incompetent this show is, especially this
And
episode,
subversive.
and how densely stupid everything is in it. Like you have to put in effort. There were multiple times where I was asking my chat, all right, can you guess what they're gonna do? And by the way, to try and guess what they're gonna do, you have to actually think of the most stupid thing. Don't think logically. If you think logically, you're never gonna predict what this show does. You have to purposely try and be a retard to predict what they do in the plot. And when it comes out, they never fail to disappoint. It's amazingly
Occam's
stupid.
retard. That's that's what you have to go
The
with.
simplest person is the correct one.
Yes.
thick with retardation.
Yeah.
Very thick.
It's like Star Trek Discovery. It's such a bastardization of everything. It's kind of hard to convey how fucking like how awful this is. You have to put in a concerted effort. Like this isn't just your garden variety average incompetence. This is like, we need to set out to piss off the most people possible because we've got the most money. And those Tolkien fans will lap it up anyway. Wrong fandom to do that too. And the audience is slipping. It's at number 8. We started the show at that, and Ryan was right. The fact that that's number 8 and how much money has gone into this and time has gone into this, and it's getting beat by fucking Tulsa King. Thank God. Nature is healing because Tulsa King's good. Season 2 is very good so far. And the fact that Penguin was number 1, a fantastic first episode, absolutely I've watched it 3 times now. I enjoyed it that much. It's a good crime drama. And hopefully it holds
got a
up.
great hook in the beginning that connects it to what happened in the Batman, but it like that first 10 minutes you get a sense of who Penguin is, what some of his motivations are, the things that are kind of triggering to him, and you're kind of hooked after that. After that first 10 minutes and that first altercation, you're like, where the fuck is this gonna go now?
I was actually genuinely shocked at how well the characterization they put into the Penguin in this. I did not expect something that high quality. And like his personality is just so damn engaging, where you just give me that character constantly and I'm hooked. Especially when he was just in the car and he starts talking casually with this guy that's just freaking out.
With a dead body in the trunk, and he's talking about air freshener.
Air fresheners.
No, that's good. The writing.
They need to mention Batman, though.
They did in the beginning.
In the beginning, but he needs to come up somewhere like he screwed up like he broke into a warehouse and took people out. Like he needs to, even if you don't see him, he needs to have something he's done.
You're absolutely right, because that's the whole purpose of Batman that they set up in the beginning of the movie of the Batman is people are just scared of the shadows. So I think it is important. You don't have to show Batman, but they had to talk to him about him 5 or 6 times and show how spooked everybody is. All the crime families, while there's this power vacuum, they're always worried about Batman. And Colin Farrell did an interview where he kind of explains that Batman's changed after the movie The Batman. So he's going through a change, which means he's probably getting more serious about being a hero and probably fixing up the Batcave, fixing up the Batmobile, getting refining his skills a little bit. And
I think more than anything else, Gary, I think that what they want, especially with the way the Batman ended, where he realized he didn't just have to be tool used to inspire fear, he could also inspire hope in some people as well. I think that, and they've been so focused on this recovery effort after the city being flooded, I think that the idea you're supposed to have is that Batman is actually going out and trying to help a lot of people that are in trouble right now from the way the city has just been fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to feel that in a little bit of a way as well.
But you could just have a news report of that Batman was spotted helping this family that was suffering because of the flood. Like, he needs to have some kind of presence.
But he still needs to spook the criminals too. So I think he has to be mentioned throughout the series. I don't think you have to show him. But and I think in
an ideal world, though, he would be in at least one episode, somehow.
Well, for sure. I don't think in an ideal world, this shouldn't be a movie sequel. They should just make a Batman show.
Yeah, that would be great. Dude. I don't know why they dance around that so much. That's what everybody wants. They did it with Superman.
It's not rights issues. It's not that. It's overprotection of brand, which is weird because when you do the peripheral shows, like all the fucking shit that we've seen with Batwoman and everything, that damages the brand. It dilutes and damages the brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, could you imagine a Batman show on this level where it just follows Batman
every Sunday night?
Oh, it'd be so great. It'd be the biggest thing on television.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
But no, they're just a bunch of smart people with a lot of money, that
instead they gave us that J.J. Abrams Batman show, which isn't even about him. He's barely in it. Just follows the lesbian cops around.
But something I've always liked, I'm not into procedurals, but I'm into procedurals with a twist. Like there was one where he was kind of like Sherlock Holmes, but every time he died, he respawned in a river, and so it added an extra element to the procedural stuff. You'd have that with Batman. You could literally have him solving crimes, but also because he's Batman, he can do loads of other stuff. That would get people hooked, and you could just have series after series of that, like CSI kind of stuff, but in a Batman universe. It's so easy to do, and you get the same kind of writers over. You know who's written for these shows in the past. It's all set up for you, but we want to do big movie stuff, and that's because that's impressive and more prestigious.
And it more costly, and this would a Batman series you could make for the price easily of a movie of the Batman. You could make a series easy, 10 episodes for sure, and a bunch of people would watch it, and it would be talked about every fucking week. It would be huge. But
all you would have to do is have him hunt a serial killer.
Yes,
put Zaz in it and have him hunt him. Why these people are dying and he's marking his body, I think. That'd be a great show.
You do
Instead, they wasted him in that stupid movie, Birds of Prey made him some gay, crazy guy.
Yeah.
That's like one like you could have 5 seasons. Each season would be about specifically tracking down a big notable criminal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clayface, whole season where you have the intrigue of figuring out who's who and who is he impersonating. Ugh.
I still think you could also do it the other way, like Supernatural had Monster of the Week, so you could literally have mini crimes and then the overarching plot over the season, traditional television. Then people don't have to have watched the entire season of 22 episodes and to keep watching it and join halfway through, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing, because superheroes, with all the stories they have in the comic books, are so well suited for procedural television, but they're so reluctant to do it. Then they do the TV shows with all the tangential characters. And this is one of the things why I wasn't expecting much of the Penguin, because I wasn't like, it's the Penguin, you know?
Yep.
Give me Batman, and I'm very surprised how good it is. But then just now I'm a bit frustrated. It's like, you could make something great with Batman then. If you could do this well with the Penguin.
If it holds up for a whole season, yes, I think that'll be the question of like, what the hell are you doing? Like, especially when you're going to clearly have Batman in the DCU with James Gunn. So what they're doing is they're giving the sequel to Matt Reeves so they don't piss him off. They're not going to give him anything after that. There is going to be no The Batman 3. There just isn't because of that. And the way you could continue that is recast Robert Pattinson, because he probably wouldn't want to be in a TV show, which I wouldn't be against, and then do a TV show. The better costume. With a better costume.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to do Clayface, get the same fabricators who did the Swamp Thing suit, which looked phenomenal.
God, yeah.
Dude, that was a great show, too.
I don't think TV series linked to movies need the same people cast in them. Like Stargate proved that. You
Yes,
can just recast
I agree.
everyone and make it work. So.
Yep.
And you'll probably have different enough audiences between the two that it's not going to be that big of a difference.
Stargate TV show's better than a movie.
Easily. Yeah.
Not
Still
another.
good,
we're going to get to soups, everybody.
I like
You ready
that.
for soups?
I have a question about the guy that they got to help kill, like the son from the other family. Did they discuss where they found that guy? Like his intern, basically.
What do you mean? Like, he found him because he was trying to fucking steal his rims, and Penguin chased him off, and he was the last one there. And I feel like
his intern. I was like, "What the fuck is she talking?" His intern. I mean, technically he is. Yeah.
You're talking about suits.
So
they were doing a ride along.
His little apprentice.
He's like mentoring him,
kind of like a Jason Todd origin. So
his acolyte.
Sounds very familiar.
Like an inversion of the
I want a
Jason
live
Todd.
action Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, because that's what Jason Todd was stealing the rims off the Batmobile.
Yep.
Yep.
Is he Dominican? Oh.
No. It's not Haitian either. So, Not Another Dime is gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hail!
That's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah. What's up? You'll get all those members will get to watch the finale watch party for the Rings of Power and the Grand Tour finale, which was phenomenal. It was so fucking good. 2 hours of greatness. Noons has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Holy shit! Thank you. Andre CR on the Streamlabs side it's a 3-part for $69.69. I should probably pull this from behind my camera. So, I mean, I could barely read anyway, but obstructions make it worse. So here's how I imagine how the writers of The Rings of Power came up with the Sack of Eregion story. Eregion is a country in Middle-earth that exists far away from another country called Mordor. Mordor is a bigger country. Mordor is a powerful country. Mordor decided to invade a smaller country called Eregion. So basically, that's wrong. That sounds familiar, that quote. On Rings of Power episode 7, Guy Ladriel turns into a MILF. A mother-in-law I'd like to fuck. Shout out to X-Ray Girl. She has been busy lately. First as an archer in Rings of Power, and her own game with Ghost of Yotoi. Is it Yoto? What's it called? Yote?
Oh, Yotai or something.
Yotai.
Whatever. Hey,
just call it Ghost 2.
Universally popular decision with that game. People are just completely get along on the internet about that. Gary, were your drugs back in the day better than the ones Linda Carter got while hosting the Geeks and Nerds for Harris? Well, I haven't done any drugs in a while, so I don't know if they're better today. Crank back in the day was great and bad. Crank. Well, it's meth. The meth everybody's getting now is completely different than the stuff we got back in the day.
You got the blue stuff.
No, it's called crank. It was like orangey brown. I didn't get the blue stuff.
Did you still lose your teeth doing it, or?
I lost my teeth in a fight.
No,
so,
I mean, like, does the old meth still take people? Did it still take people's teeth?
Yeah. If you smoked it, fucking yeah, hell yeah, your teeth are gone. If you smoked it, I never smoked or shot the crank. Helped make it, but
science,
baby. And where can I get them? Linda Carter's old, so she's probably on some like antipsychotic medication or something like that, some antidepressant or something. Asking for a friend. Hail the 199 holistically. Hail the 199. Elrond. This is from Noons for $184.99. Elrond is going to have a very awkward conversation with his daughter, making out with Arwen's grandma. Peak TV. Fuck this show. Yeah.
I mean, it's particularly weird if the daughter isn't born yet. It's just like, Elrond, here's my daughter.
Well, the daughter's supposed to be born. Like, how they're going to work this out now, I don't know. Because the daughter's supposed to be born. Celeborn is supposed to be there. He was supposed to be at that fight. You know who wasn't there? Galadriel, Gil-galad, they weren't supposed to be there. Sauron wasn't supposed to be in the city of Eregion just yet. Adar doesn't exist. Modernity didn't exist. Neither did Don Lemonless or X-Ray Girl. Sorry, X-Ray Girl. Yeah.
Is it weird I've been making videos for so long now that I'm used to calling him Gilgadaddy so often that Gil-galad sounds like the wrong name?
Yeah.
It's like every time someone says it, I'm like, oh no.
Because Gil-galad would be the wrong name in this show. Gilgadaddy is the perfect name. Galadriel. I feel weird saying Galadriel related to this show because it's just not Galadriel at all. Legalized Adulthood has gifted 40 Nerdrotic memberships for $200. Hail! That's a lot of memberships. So Uncivilized for 50. Hello there. Thanks for raising awareness for this crap. At least we get things like Mahler losing it over Outlaws and Gary's mental breakdown yesterday over the retards of poop. Yeah, that was a bit much.
I watched him play that Outlaws game. What a mess.
That was funny. Hail Mahler. He'll be here next week.
Next week.
Next week?
Oh.
What? You mean next week or next week?
Next. Two nexts.
Two next.
So that's week after next, Canadian.
Yes.
That's what we normally say.
In 2 weeks. How many times can we say this differently?
We could say it a lot, apparently.
There were many less confusing ways.
Totally made sense to me. Hail the fellowship, hail the panel, hail Jeremy, queen of the queers. But yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to start saying R.I.P. Jeremy.
Right?
He buried right next to Az.
Yep. Ian So Forth for 50 British pounds, proper money. My Amazon parcel didn't arrive today. I tried to contact the shipping department, but apparently they're all working on the Rings of Power. I came up with that 2 hours ago, and I'm still waiting for an outlet. I think they should, as I said at the end of my rant, they should cancel the show today and just parse that money around to the employees. Just give everybody a raise across the board. All those warehouse workers that are getting us our Amazon stuff from the distribution warehouse, give them $2 or $3 extra an hour. That would pump money into the economy. It would be better for the world than putting out this shit and setting money on fire. So.
Well, yeah, they would actually save more money doing that.
You hand it to them when they come out of the suicide boxes that they have there.
Yeah.
Little screen boxes. Like, here you go.
Pay someone to pick up the piss bottles.
Hey, pretty soon Amazon will be delivering those. So
Sponsor, like you'll have them in the middle of the street too. Sponsored by Amazon.
then it rings
Like
a
in
rings a
Futurama.
power fucking sticker.
And then the cheap Chinese knockoff versions will be there too.
Yep,
and it's,
yep. Coming to a country near you. Mostly Northern
Futurama was
European
right.
first.
Futurama
Yep.
was right.
Sarah Gould for 50. Thank you, Sarah. This week, more proof that the Rings of Power is set, the Rings of Power is set on Titan and not Arda. The Misty Mountains are Middle Earth's Rockies. The Rings of Power are barely higher than the Black Hills. This is true. All canonical couples are disbanded. How many ships are we up to now? Anyone keep account? Well, okay, that's a good question because there's Elrondriel, which was a ship from first season too. Elrondriel, Hadriel.
You've got Sauron and Celebrimbor.
Sauron and Celebrimbor.
Myrdian or whatever her name is. Isildur and that Mordor woman who had a husband.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to them? They just disappeared.
I think he just got depressed and left.
Cares.
It was like, if I can't have her, it's not worth saving the world anymore.
Then you have the Queen and
oh yeah,
what's
yeah.
his name?
Is the Black Elf still with that?
Elendil.
same
Elendil
Durin
and
and Elrond.
Miriel.
She left the series.
Elendil and Miriel. Yeah.
Elrond and Durin. Can't forget that
Hey,
one.
Yeah.
What
No.
did
Well,
Elrond say
they
this
got back
episode?
together this
He'll
episode.
come. He'll come. That's what he said. This
He kept on
episode.
saying it
He
over
said it several times.
several
It
times.
was a foreshadowing.
I hated when he was like at first light, to the north. All of us like,
I know. How about when Durin the Fourth saw Elrond for the first time? He's all, "My heart sings to see you, my friend." It's like, "Pow,
Yeah, what did he call him? Like a wavy-haired flagpole?
Yeah.
It was like, wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Is one letter away. One letter away.
Said he wanted to see his flagpole.
I wish I thought of that first.
I'm gonna bleep it. I'll just bleep it so it sounds like he said it. I'll do that right now.
How am I supposed to say this one, X-Ray Girl?
1 second. Aardvark?
Aardvark 219 for there's no vowels, okay?
There's no vowels.
Yeah. For 50. Long time listener. First time.
How would you spell Aardvark without a vowel?
Long time listener, first time chatter. Oh, I almost said it like Howard Stern, but fuck him. Mega dittos. We'll do it like Rush Limbaugh. Fuck Howard Stern. He's a piece of shit. Turning another year further into my 50s tomorrow. Welcome. It's painful, and then it's not, because like while your body hurts, you're still sound of mind, and you can enjoy watching young people do the same stupid shit we used to and not tell them to stop and then laugh, because it's tons of fun. Gen Xer gets some FNT style abuse. Of course, you're an old fuck, and you're, as I say for everybody on their birthday, shorter of breath and one day closer to death. There you go. If help is in need, pretend I also like Twilight. Well, you're also gay. So
why are you gay?
Exactly. Hail to you all, and hail the fellowship, and happy birthday. Welcome to the 50s. The 50s. The 50s.
I'm 36 tomorrow, so I still got a little ways to go.
Oh, you're fine. You're like you still have like 8 or 9 years till your midlife crisis.
Yeah. I'm excited for next year, because then I'm 37. I'm not old.
Not old.
You could say Dennis. You're cold, Dennis.
Midlife crises are real. Ian so forth for has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Thank you, Ian. Wonko the Sane for $49.99. I would like to congratulate Disney on the huge success of Agatha all along. On a completely unrelated note, my tallywhacker was a foot long when I made my own tape measure. That's good. That's good. Yes, According to Disney, it's a massive success, even though it wasn't watched by as many people as the show that got canceled just about a month ago. Alec Baldwin's finger has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Never misses.
It's a real crack shot.
Yep. There's a lot of crack shots in Hollywood. As is wonky eyebrow for £2 Make Savvy a permanent on FNT because Jeremy is gay. Hail. Well, she might be if Jeremy just keeps on blowing us off for Kamala Harris.
Got a thing for her.
Camel Harris. How do you say her name? Camel. Am I saying it wrong?
Camel
toe.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Come.
It's pronounced she was a middle-class woman.
She was.
I'm from the middle class family.
Worked in a McDonald's.
Worked in a McDonald's too. My favorite rapper is Tupac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she blew Willie Brown. That's how she got her job.
And Montel. Okay. He never gets a mention. Montel Williams.
Poor Montel. Mr. Mojo for 10 British pounds, proper money. Gary, your latest The Rims of Power review was hilarious. Thank you for watching the show so the rest of us don't have to. Cheers. Those are part of the member streams. Our actual edited review will be out Sunday. Should have been out sooner, but as Garrett put it, and as we tried to tell you, we scratched the surface. There is a lot of retardation in this episode, and a lot of it has to be covered. How long was your review? I haven't watched. I don't watch reviews until I'm done with mine.
It was the longest. I think it was just under an hour.
Okay. This is
the
the most.
Literally, the entire bit where Sauron is talking to Celebrimbor, I had to skip because I'm like, if I go into this, it'll be forever to explain how stupid everything he's describing to him is. Oh, well, I know Morgoth hurt me a little bit, and so now I want to rule the entire world. It's like, no.
Yeah, I took 3.5 hours to review this one. It was so important.
So, yeah, more notes on this episode than the first 3 combined.
I did think it was the funniest, though.
It's the longest
dude,
so far.
easily the most memeable and funny.
I wasn't sure if it broke me and I just stopped caring altogether because the same thing happened in Wheel of Time. But I was like, no, this has reached a crescendo where everything becomes a parody.
Well, that's the era we're in now. It's like we're in the parody era where we can correctly predict ridiculous stuff. And they do it because, for one, they're behind on the times.
No one saw Medania going off that wall. that was amazing.
That was brilliant.
That was one of the spit take laugh moments in the episode. But there's multiple. like when the trebuchets hit the mountain, they showed the range. Spit take laugh moment. When that stupid siege thing that's just pulling out massive chunks of walls by just hammering nails in, that was a spit moment. And of course, when the siege engine exploded like it was made of C4, it's just like, this is a cartoon. We are watching a cartoon. But what's sad about it is that they're trying to sell it as something serious and epic when it's just
dude,
so stupid.
That kiss, though, that fucking kiss between Elrond and Galadriel, trying to just go out there and bullshit the Tolkien fandom on this. Go fuck yourself. You're fucking dumb. They have to be dumb because this is going to, even shills. I did see some shills calling this. For one, the Men of the West is not a shill. Men of the West is one of the
Fellowship of the fans didn't like it.
Yeah, but Men of the West is one of the real ones. He was like, "Fuck this," in his nice way. But yeah, Fellowship of the Fans. That even some of the shills were like, "No, we're drawing the line here." Good. Should have drew the line a lot earlier, but that's me.
In my video, I spent 3 minutes just coming up with lines that he should have told her as he stopped kissing her. And anyway, it was things like, you should see what I'm going to do to your daughter later. It was all random stuff.
Dude, that's the first thing I woke up. So I knew about it before I saw the episode because I'm like, I got up out of bed, I fired up Twitter, and my feed is just, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh shit. So I fired up the watch party early because I'm like, I don't want to get this ruined. And it was worse seeing it, just actually seeing it. And think of the amount, we've said this before. Wonder Woman, 84, Patty Jenkins, who was on the Geeks and Nerds for Harris, wrote Wonder Woman raping a guy. And it got past editors, producers, script supervisors, line producers, the actors, which is not surprising at all because they probably don't think about what they act. But the cinematographer, executive producers and executives at Warner Brothers. It got past all that. Nobody noticed. And it wasn't even, and it was until it was brought up later, Patty Jenkins had to acknowledge that she wrote Wonder Woman raping a dude. Doesn't even cross their fucking mind.
And the only way that could be possible is if that's the culture that they're immersed in and they think it's
so
normal.
The same thing with the Rings of Power. This kiss canonically betrays absolutely everything the professor's about. His beliefs, his messages, this book. It didn't fucking happen. It didn't need to happen. You had to really fucking work the script to make it happen. And it got past line producers, script supervisors, producers, writers, directors, showrunners, executives at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and nobody thought, like, maybe we shouldn't do this one. Maybe we should think of something else. Maybe it would have been better to go, hey, look, Sauron, and then like pass her a fucking,
Well, you also hear stories like, I can't remember it, the Wednesday actress, where she was like, no, I don't want to do this because my character wouldn't do this. We should do it this way because it's better. And it ends up being a better show because of it. Yeah, Jenna Ortega. I don't think, at no point in this do I think they went, no, my character wouldn't do that. Elrond wouldn't kiss her. They just try and come up with a reason why it happens afterwards when they get the script.
Because it's a damn cult. They don't know how to say no. And if they say no, then they're kicked out because all of these people working on this, they're all nobodies. They're all worthless. If somebody says no, they're out of there.
Yep.
And then they know they will never get hired again.
Well, and you've talked about this, Savvy, and we all have too. That's the devil in the DEI is they bring these diversity hires because, well, you'll do what you're told. You'll do what you're told. They're easy to control. They're lower paid, but they have no experience, and they're given this. Hey, we're giving you an opportunity, kid, but you better do what you're told. So it's all good as long as you repeat our politics, repeat whatever our values are or lack thereof. It's all good. The minute you step out of line, little lady, little person of color, little marginalized person, then you're fucked. We'll diddy ya.
No, this is a very good point because if they were talented, if they were hired on merit, all right, they would have some leverage to try and hold their position. It's like, no, you need me. I'm providing a good job here. But if
they know they could get work elsewhere because they'd be confident in themselves.
Yeah,
exactly. But if they're hired just on the tick box, well, I mean, it's I gotta keep this job. I'll do whatever's needed.
I'll be whatever you need me to be. It's a saying. It's been around for a long time in Hollywood.
The ghost of Yotai actress or whatever you might think of her, whatever the influence is on whatever's going to be with that game. She's got a couple tweets where she says basically merit is bad. And she thinks that it's bad for the industry. And it's like, if you had any skills, you wouldn't need to parrot the things that you parrot so loudly, because she has tweets where it's literally be gay, do crime. And then she wants to abolish the police. And it's
this has been my
several
point for a long
tweets
time.
saying defund the police in all caps.
This has been my point for a while when people are like, well, people that believe that ideology may not actually be bad. It's like, no, but the ideology attracts weak, vulnerable victims, incapable people. And so if you believe that, the odds are that you're terrible at your job. If you were good at your job, you would actually want merit because that benefits you. You want to be uplifted above other people because that benefits you, because you couldn't be in that position otherwise, and so that's what you support. And so it's not that it causes that, it's just that it attracts people who are incapable of their job.
Exactly.
Everybody else.
If you're confident in your ability, you're not giving a fuck what other people think or do.
You want hierarchy because
you
want win in a fair fight.
Exactly. And you want people there, especially if you're working in a corporate environment. You want people. What ends up happening is you have to do all of everybody else's fucking work who's lagging behind.
Yeah. And this point is important because I've had conversations with people that don't think woke stuff isn't a problem or DEI is a problem, specifically when talking about bad TV shows and stuff. They said, no, they're saying it's the writing. The bad writing is the problem that's causing these bad shows, but the bad writing and the bad quality
comes from the DEI.
Direct result of the DEI.
It's the foundation.
It's racist.
Yep. Donald DeKett for $10 says, this is my first super chat ever. Welcome. Thank you.
Wow.
Pop your cherry. I watch you guys every week. Huge fan. Hail to you. Thanks for watching, by the way. 21 Palika has gifted one Nerdrotic membership for $5. Thank you. Hayden Wayne, Hayden 75. Go check out his channel, by the way. Just started a channel as a hobby. He's a working man out there. Blue collar man. Well, he probably makes a few bucks doing what he does, I'm guessing. Highly skilled, but still working man. Has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Louis C for $10 says, bidet? Bite it?
Bidet.
Bidet. Oh, bidet. I know what a bidet is. I just don't know how it's spelled. So
Gary doesn't have a bidet confirmed.
Fuck no. I don't want a bidet. I know what one is.
Bidets are amazing.
If you're a girl, I understand.
Caleb Ripple's a big fan.
Dirty bum man.
Yeah.
I hear Beardo swears by them.
I'd rather have like a urinal, to be honest.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
I've seen them in houses before.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's very hard to sell your house if you've got one. Which is
Really?
What,
Yeah.
in the UK?
That makes no sense.
It's been in all those our houses for sale kind of shows. Yeah, the real estate agent always goes very difficult to sell because the wife doesn't like it. The husband thinks it's amazing, but the wife doesn't want to walk into the bathroom and see it all the time.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, wife, what would you rather have? A toilet seat up all the time or a urinal?
I don't
You
give a
can
fuck.
just make
over the
one.
seat.
Just run a tube into a funnel and like.
Well, you got to sink. I mean, we're talking to Ryan here.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what?
MacGyver toilets. No.
I think I speak
you
for.
got the sink. You got the.
I think
toilet.
I speak for all men here. We'll start putting the toilet seat down when you women start putting the fucking seat back in the cars. Okay, as soon as that starts happening, and
Yeah, that's true.
fuck
dude.
up my knees get
That's true.
Infuriating than getting back in
Can't
your
really get
car
in
and
the
having
car.
like a fucking
slamming your fucking knee against the dashboard. You're like, Jesus Christ. Are you a hobbit? Come on.
So true. I'm just laughing because it happens every
Probably doesn't have
time
that.
my wife drives the car. Because my wife is short. She's only like a little over 5 foot. And so every time hop in the car, the seat is.
You got to move the booster seat. You got to put the seat back. Shit.
It's the worst when you jump in and then you're all smushed to think about it before you get in and put the seat back.
Oh my god.
Well,
Y'all
I mean,
are
without doxing you, you're tall, right? YellowFlash? Are you
Yeah,
a
I'm
taller
pretty tall.
guy?
I mean, I'm 6 foot.
You just doxed his
You're
height.
tallish. My son's like 6'4", so he has to buy a certain car, or he doesn't fit in
Oh,
most
that's
cars.
the one rule we have in this
Yeah.
house. My husband's he's 6'9", and I told him he can buy
Jesus.
whatever the hell he wants in life.
Wow.
He just has to fit. That's it.
Yeah.
Did you marry Baron
A Hummer?
Trump?
No, I'm the one who wants the Hummer. He wants the sports cars. Yeah, he's been looking at There's a BMW that he wants. I forgot what it is.
They're
I'm not
they're
a BMW.
great for the first 60,000 miles.
Yeah.
They're annoying because you got to take them to
Kinda like
specialty
women.
places for everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Even the
Expensive
oil
fits.
change.
That's been the mistake for me because I have a Hummer and getting it serviced.
dude, the
is
oil-
really
Hey, what Hummer do you have?
Dude, tune-ups on a
I didn't
BMW
look
are
up.
money. YellowFlash. We loved it in the
Yeah.
parts department when the BMWs came in. Like,
What Hummer do you have?
Oh, it's gee, I need to look it up now.
H1?
It's one of the
you
that
bought
the
it.
one
You
you
bought
bought
it.
It's harder for those because they don't make them anymore.
Aren't
got it
they,
by accident,
wait,
right?
didn't they bring it back? I
it's
thought they-
electric now. It's
Yeah,
electric.
they got like a
that's-
hybrid
that
and electric
fucking
one.
It's not the
doesn't
same
count.
thing.
Yeah.
My
Now,
girl Brie
Shad,
Larson got me a good deal on a Nissan. So, you know.
Shad bought one on auction, right? Shad,
Yeah, it
I
was a
watched your
complete-
video, and you drove your kids around. That was, I liked it,
yeah. And I got it completely by accident because I wasn't intending on buying a luxury Hummer. But oh well, there we go.
You don't have to tell us a story you told your wife. You're amongst friends here. It's all good. You had a little bit too much milk, and you were up at night on eBay, and just a little
Did
irresponsible.
you really?
No.
My wife was with me when we bought it, so
Wait, you bought it off of eBay?
No, not eBay. It was off auction, and it came
Like
up. and
online?
yeah. There's these
Dude,
big auctions. that
There are a
sell
lot of
cheap
car
stuff.
auctions.
Yeah, I've just never known someone who participated in them.
You
You
can get
you can
some.
find
you can do it.
crazy good deals.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get some
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
cool
yeah, yeah.
cars.
Absolutely.
I got this Hummer at a steal.
You know what's
so
fucking
the-
crazier? Buying a
I
brand new
get-
car. That's dumb. That's
yeah.
just flat out
Yes.
dumb.
Idiotic.
Yep.
Isn't it like 30% the moment you walk off, you drive it off the lot?
Yep.
Actually, so fun story about that. I bought my vehicle brand new for the first time in my life. Typically, I would have bought something old, but I went back a year later. They tried to offer me more than I paid for it. And if it wasn't our only vehicle, I would have sold it.
Yeah, I would have too. There's certain cars that do hold their value, like really, like FJ Cruisers.
I have an SUV.
Well, it was a big. It was a big thing during the COOF because they were running out of vehicles to sell.
Chips, because of chips, and well, that might be happening again. There's the big strike on the Eastern Seaboard, right? The dock workers strike, so they're having to bring everything through the Panama Canal to Long Beach.
It hurts some car people more than others. Like Ford uses notoriously old shit. They like for their chips, for their touch screens and stuff. So like a lot of these chip makers, they don't want to make them anymore because they could make other chipsets that are worth their time, you know? So
are they still,
that's what really hurt them.
Are they still making the shit in Mexico for Ford? They were back in my
all
day.
Of them do.
Okay, yeah.
All of them do. That's not just Ford.
No.
GM, Chrysler, they all do that.
Yeah, that's why I bought Japanese cars. They're just fucking better. But then they started assembling them in America, and they turned shitty. So I got Japanese cars
watch
that
out
were
for the Friday car.
Yeah, the Friday car, baby. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Absolutely. No, if you get a Japanese car, make sure it's assembled in Japan. If they still do that with some. Louise C for $10. Bidet Cobra's transition looking good. It's better than it was. I mean, I'll say that. You know. I don't miss them. Do you? Fuck them. You can go talk about the wine mom who's going to lose. Joseph for Brave for $20. Question for Ryan. Baby oil, Astroglide, or both? Asking for a friend. Shad, in parentheses.
I have never used baby oil as lube. I have used Astroglide as lube. I've never used baby oil as like lubrication for sex though. So
well, Diddy swears by it.
Apparently.
I use baby.
Avid.
Did you see his lawyers like he only had that many because he buys his stuff in bulk.
It's like,
and then Costco came out and Costco said, actually, we don't sell baby oil, you lying piece of shit.
Yeah. It was COVID panic buying. That's what it was.
Yeah. So. He's a Costco guy. Of course he buys
that
in bulk.
And the dildos, because there were.
I still don't know if that's true or not. I've tried to find if that's real, that they found hundreds of dildos in his house. It's still funny either way. And it's kind of believable because he was putting something in everybody's ass.
Well, I still think he should have built like the Game of Thrones sword thrown out of him. That's what you need.
Ah, yeah.
It's like the centerpiece.
Oh, the Transformer dildo or
Diddy
something.
throne.
The rubber throne. Yeah, what the hell?
I actually have bought baby oil to oil my swords. Oh, wait.
Oh, I wondered where that was going.
Oh, yeah.
What
As soon as you got to oil my, I'm like, wait, what?
I see what you're saying.
21 Palika has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. And Green Blossom has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5. Peyton Liu, UXGALYQ. I don't even know what the hell that is. What did I just say? I probably just said a racial slur. Not even sure.
A lot of people in the chat are green. They oil their swords too, Shad.
Yep. It's actually really good for it.
It's good for the prostate. I mean, it's good for the sword.
Oh, yeah.
It's 100% mineral oil, and it's the perfect thing to keep your sword oiled. I know it.
Keep
Does
that
it fall
sword
off the back
smooth
too?
and
A
wet.
lot easier.
It slides off the back. That's what he said
What about
last
for
week.
sword swallowing?
Oh. Good for dueling.
You don't want to use coconut oil for that, I guess.
For $300, by the way. Peyton, thank you. Gaming industry watches Hollywood burning billions of dollars. Proceed to double, triple, quadruple down what film industry has been doing. Let's burn even more money than you can ever imagine. I'm sorry, what? Well, Savvy could probably talk about this because she's talked about it a lot. But I do believe a lot of the activists are moving away from the sinking ship of Hollywood and moving to something that's far more lucrative, which is the gaming industry, which eclipses the multiple industries combined. Multiple industries. Gaming industry is still fucking massive. Yep.
It's different types of activists, but yeah. It's pretty much what's happened. And then because of the way that the government gives so many tax breaks, and then the way that investors value the American companies, it only makes sense.
Yep.
So
I would argue it's better for inserting propaganda into people too, because I think it's a much more immersive medium than just passively watching TV. You like interacting and become the character in many cases.
And
especially
they
when
can make
you're
you actively choose to say it. Like
Yeah.
give you a list of things,
and
and
that's
it's you
too
saying
why it's not lasting as long, because people are paying attention. When you watch a movie, you can sometimes insert something and it'll slip by a lot of people. But in a video game, you're actively participating. And so people are going to see that. And then they have to be a little bit more blunt too, because in a movie, again, you have kind of, you can tailor a scene around something, sure. But in a video game, you have to draw attention to it, such as a quest, for instance. So.
There is also consequence. It might not last. Well, it'll probably last as long because games take longer to make. But when a big game fails, the studio dies. Like it just largely just goes.
You're seeing it right now with Ubisoft.
Yeah, as unpredictable as movie and TV is, gaming is far. It's way riskier. It's way riskier right now.
So Ubisoft, though, is really interesting. So they have lost their investors over $1 billion over the last couple of years based off of what their stock is currently at. And then on top of that, they're obviously having to come out and say, oh, we're not putting in any message. But if you go to their website on their front page, it says that they focus on diversity, inclusion in their storytelling, which fine, whatever. But then you really start looking at the French people behind it and how crazy they are. On top of that, 2 years ago, apparently Blackstone wanted to buy them, and Ubisoft said, no, we won't sit at the table just yet. So it'll be interesting to see if Blackstone comes back to the table now that they're on super discount.
That's what they're waiting for. They're doing it again for $2, says Hail Savvy. BM for $20 says, hey, Gary, just curious. What do you think? Who do you think looked more scared? You on your first night in jail, or Beebs at the first sleepover at Diddler's house? Beebs.
Poor Beebs.
I mean, I wasn't like happy to be there. Believe me, I was like internally shitting my pants. It was, well, I guess you kind of do anyway. But yeah, I didn't actually shit them. But man, that was not fun.
At least you had some bars separating you from a lot of people. Old Beaver is just locked in there with Diddy.
Yeah.
So I wasn't joking, actually. I told you.
Yes.
No one thought you were lying, Chad.
Chad, not a single person needed any kind of proof. Okay,
Chad,
we trust you.
Tissues there as well.
Happy tissues or sad tissues?
Unsheath it.
Yeah.
He's unsheathed. He's raw dogging it.
Ooh.
Always remember, lube away from yourself.
Slower.
Oh, yeah.
Slower.
Oh, yeah.
Slow down.
And then
Change the pace a bit.
Oh, is that the motion?
So close.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I see why Mormon housewives are so popular.
I feel like I need a cigarette after that.
Not in front of the baby, Chrissy. Maybe just next room over. Fifth Down Sports for $10. Script leak from season 2 of The Acolyte. Smilo Ren. I'm not gay. I have relationships with May and Osha, but I have sex with Plagueis, a Jedi Master Green Bean. I've got news for you. Alvin Adicia for 50,000 Martian pesos. Hail FNT, I like the Penguin from the storyline perspective, but I can't shake that woke Hollywood rules like white men stupid, women humbling men, etc. I don't think they did that yet. And believe me, I would point it out. But that definitely is a trope in Hollywood now, that anything that does feature a white male, or not, I can't even say that anymore. Males. Straight males, prominently white, Asian, black, or whatever. He always has to have some kind of woman behind him, moving him, advising him, being the real brains. And it does feel like a DEI hire. It does feel like a producer's note, because it is. And it's not something, it's something some of the rules require, but this is something they've done for a long time.
Gay white men are also enemy number 1 now.
Remember? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And eventually when you become normal, your specialty status is gone, and I think that's what's behind a lot of this stuff. But especially with the rules they have put in, it's the Bechdel test. Now, if you guys remember the Bechdel test, it was a joke. It was a cartoon written by a lesbian woman, basically stating the rule is that two women have to be in a room not talking about a man. It goes down a little more than that. But Hollywood took it seriously to the point where the author of that comic had to come out and say, no, it was a joke. It was just a joke. But no, Hollywood's taken it very serious. Agatha passes the Bechdel test. It rewrites the Bechdel test. Alkalite rewrites the Bechdel test. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of self-editing from a lot of weirdo activists who were given power over the last few years, especially during the Summer of Love, when Hollywood thought they saw some sort of, because Hollywood does not create trends. Hollywood is where trends go to die. So they misread a trend, and now even worse, they're going against trends. And that's, I mean, I can go down the rabbit hole of corporatism, but there was a time when shows got canceled. There was a time when The Rings of Power would have been canceled. Star Trek Discovery would have been canceled, but you can't cancel these shows now. Either one's a vanity project for your CEO or the other one stars a black woman. And look the Acolyte, they fucking had to cancel that. Look at how bad that would be. And look at the shit they got for canceling it.
The thing is, it's like on YouTube. You can have a channel that swaps from topic to topic to topic, series from series to series, but your audience remains the same. And that's what allows you to switch topics. So it's the same in Hollywood. You can switch from like sci-fi to Wild West kind of stuff to then like John Wick kind of movies, just action movies, because your audience is still the same. It's just guys that like action stuff. What they're doing now is going for an entirely different audience, and it works just the same on YouTube. If you went from talking about entertainment to suddenly talking about makeup, your channel will die.
Yes.
Everybody knows this, and it's wild to me. It's taken Hollywood so long to learn that you can't just turn on a dime and go after an entirely different group of people.
They're an old. It's the paradigm has changed, and they can't keep up. That's the thing is, like, even if they want to change things, they have to change them. It takes 2 years, and we don't live in a world where people are going to be that patient anymore. There's just too much else to do, too much else to watch, you know. Rabid one for $2. Savvy has more bush than the Outback. Wow.
Sorry.
How does he know that?
The origin of that meme is just so damn funny. I cannot believe Jay came out with that.
Jay, oh bless Jay. That's all I have to say. Thanks, Jay. Gonna follow me.
He's probably just glad he'd made up a meme that wasn't about himself.
Yeah, that's a first. Rudy for $5 says, "You're awesome, Gary, but fuck the Padres. Let's go Dodgers, NL West champs." You know what? You can have your NL West championship. We'll take the championship. See you in the playoffs.
You see that they clinched the playoffs on that triple play?
Fuck yeah! I was watching the game, dude. I was up watching the game. I was trying not to scream because Melissa and all the dogs were asleep, and I'm like, oh. That was unfucking believable. The Dodgers, outspend the Padres. They double their payroll. Padres cut $90 million. Dodgers have $1.4 million. All I'm going to say to Dodger fans, I hope Ohtani bet on your team. Okay, there we go. That one guy
for his interpreter, Gary.
Sure, absolutely. Most popular player in baseball's interpreter did it. And yeah, Michael Jordan didn't gamble either. That one guy for $10. The plot.
Wait, hold on, real quick. You can gamble, you just can't fucking gamble on the sport that you're playing.
Right.
But Michael Jordan can gamble on whatever the fuck he wants. You just can't gamble on basketball, right?
Yeah, Michael Jordan bet on his own team, probably to win, which I have no fucking problem with, by the way. I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I personally, if fucking baseball is going to take gambling advertising, all bets are off. Literally.
Where you're just randomly tossing that out against Michael fucking Jordan.
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan.
Everyone knows he's a massive gambler, right?
Yeah.
But not connected to
basketball. My God, is he your dad? I don't care if I love Michael Jordan.
He bet on his own.
I guarantee he would bet on his fucking team, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
That's
He was
easy
the greatest
money for him.
Yep.
They were the best team in the history of that sport.
Any sort of fucking evidence or anything
What
like
are you
that
talking
about?
You were 5 when this happened. Ryan. I was watching the whole thing go down. There was all kinds of insinuations.
Yeah, on fucking basketball, please.
I'm pretty sure he did. I don't care.
You're just
I don't know. Leaving the fucking league and retiring and going to baseball. Okay.
Come on, dude.
That's
sports.
His fucking dad died.
Oh my God. Ryan was 4 years old when this happened.
Yeah, but
I love Michael Jordan. He's the only reason I fucking watch basketball. If he bet on himself to win, I don't give a shit. I could care less. But I think he did. That's why he left the fucking league mysteriously.
That's an interesting theory.
Oh, it's a crazy theory. The plot slickens. Costco called out P. Diddy's lawyers' lies about the crates of baby oil. Love to see it. That one guy for $10. As is wonky eyebrow for £2 British. R.I.P. Maggie Smith. You will be missed. Hail FNT. Hail. Rydell. Oh, how do I say this one? Ilturald for $2.
Yeah.
Savvy. Finally, an intelligent non-Asian female.
I could be Asian. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Anthony Pritchett for $20. Hail FNT. A few weeks ago on a nooner, I super chatted about Shad being featured on MTV's Ridiculousness, I guess, but forgot to check what episode it was. I found it. It was season 2 of episode 18. If you guys ever want to check it out. There you go.
I remember they reached out to us for that clip, and I told them, go.
You were on an MTV show?
But I never realized it came out.
Oh, cool.
Because I never saw, they never followed up or anything like that. I guess it did. There we go. What was it? I might even look that up. MTV season.
It's called Ridiculousness. Here, I'll just drop
season
it
2, episode 18. I never heard of the show.
That's what the guy who did the skating thing, and he just talked about memes. He was trying to copy the other comedian who was tall and skinny who fucked all the ladies.
The other the comedian who was tall and skinny and fucked all the ladies. That narrows it down, Savvy.
Every celebrity.
Tosh. He was copying Tosh. And it was the short little skater dude who did it. Robin Big, right? It was the Ridiculousness was the guy from Robin whatever.
Rob Dyrdek.
But that one. Words. Oh my God, memories.
Yeah, I think it was the clip where I made 3D printed swords, and me and my brother are testing them out, and they both break at the handle at the exact same time and fly through the air and hit and then shatter. And it was just one of those internet gold moments. I think it was that clip that they wanted to use, if I remember.
I think Shoeless Joe Jackson should be back in the fucking Hall of Fame. I don't give a shit about gambling. They're all fucking gambling. Just want to get that in there. Senor Don Justiça.
You just go back to a previous
No, I did.
Gary, you should remember this. You were fucking alive in the 1920s.
I was there. Okay. Justice for Joe Jackson.
That was about them throwing the fucking
They
World
did.
Series.
They
like,
did throw the
collectively
World
as a
Series.
team. But if you look at
That guy was
Joe
such a good
Jackson's
player.
numbers,
Woo.
there's no argument that he fucking threw that. He batted like 400 in the fucking World Series.
I know. It was
He
so
didn't fucking throw anything.
yeah. He still was awesome.
Yeah. There's never been any fucking credible thing.
Never
about
seen
him
a player like him.
Never.
If Sauron can mind control people and kill themselves, why didn't he make Adar kill himself during the coronation? I bring that up in my video. Did Sauron want to become a gloop monster? Yes, I think he did. Does he just like eating peasant women? That's the thing. Shad loves to talk about power levels and consistency. Consistency with power levels. If you're going to have Sauron able to do that kind of, then he could have done it and not got killed by Morgoth's pinky ring, because that ain't his fucking crown. It's too, like, what the fuck, whatever that was. That whole thing was retarded. It was just them wanting to show, for one, cast a dude who doesn't look like he was like a reject from The Office, to play the other Sauron. That was like some plumpy, fucking doughy looking dude,
But also, when Sauron's talking to Celebrimbor and he's going, I'm going to be so upset when I leave. It's so pitiful that I have to go, and I've had some great time over the last weeks. That was all for the shippers.
Yes, it was.
They have something against masculinity. They don't want to.
They do. We live in a timeline where Mozart published new music before George finished Winds a Winner. Also, Jesus, the elf armor in Rings of Power. Well, the professor has published more works. There's been more works from the professor than there has been from George R. R. Martin as well, too. Want to keep that from Tolkien. Justin Martins for $20. It's good to see Savvy on FNT, especially before Beardo made it on. Who's Beardo? Sure. That won't come up on TNME, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, at all. She got more subscribers than him, Plus, she's a bit weird. She'll blend right in. Yeah, she fits right in here. We're a den of retards.
I love you guys.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a compliment, Savvy. I don't know. Fitting in here
Good one.
might not be a compliment.
It's the right kind of weird.
Osmani. This is 2 super chats for 15 British pounds, proper money, or euros. For Shad, does Mormonism allow me to marry several anime waifus at once?
Yes. No, it doesn't. That's a misconception.
Tolkien is
only 6.
Only 6.
Only 6.
Is that
Tolkien.
not actually a thing? You can't have multiple wives?
I mean, polygamy was practiced back in the 1800s, but it was also practiced across America. In actual fact, there was a higher percentage of polygamists in America outside of the Mormon church than in. It's just that some of the leaders
It's still
also
practiced in certain parts of the world to this very day.
They don't practice it now; they've mastered it.
Exactly.
It hasn't been a thing for ages.
Well, you have to get 3 wives. That way, they all team up against each other and leave you alone.
That sounds like a
3 is balance.
nightmare.
Well, if you get 2, they'll team up against you. So you kind of have to, because women like to bicker and fight each other. So if you get 3, they're constantly like Game of Thronesing each other to try to get your favor.
Galadriel was right.
Just to support fucking 3 women. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just one wife takes the bottom half, one takes the top half.
Yeah, look at James Cameron. He's got to make avatars every 2 years to support his 5 ex-wives.
So if you're not going to go for 3, you might as well just stick to 1.
Yeah.
Just to quickly explain the thing,
okay.
when Mormonism stopped practicing polygamy, there was a group of people that split off and called themselves fundamentalist Mormons that still practice polygamy to this day, and that's where the confusion comes in. Why I think Mormons practice polygamy because
Thank you for parsing that out. Same story you tell all your wives. That Mormon wife show, it's about your wives, by the way.
Is that actually a polygamous show, or is it actually about LDS?
No. I think it's
the main branch.
I have no idea.
That'll be season 2.
I have because my wife likes it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Disparu will watch it.
She loves all that shit. Like women love all of those reality TV
Reality shows.
Why do you think that there's so many of them? Because they all watch.
What, women? Oh
yeah, women.
Yeah,
it's all they watch.
Tolkien is spinning so fast in his grave. If we could harness the energy, we could colonize the solar system. Yes, indeed. Savvy's on TNME. I got to say that because I just want to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles every time. Every week, twice now on FNT. I guess she's just a regular now. Maybe she is. What of it? Good thing she's cute. Cancels out the mongoloid feet and hairy bush hail. Wow. Welcome to the.
Is that a compliment or an insult? I'm not sure.
I think. Thanks. Yeah, that's all you got to say at that one. Is just thank you. I don't know if you complimented me or not. Zod Lander for 200 Swedish krona. Hail, have any of you ever tried a freelancer game from 2003? Story was great in my opinion. A real Babylon 5 feel. For now, I will enjoy Space Marines 2. For the Emperor, long live Lehman Russ. And the Space Wolves, Shad, stay on watch.
Will always do.
I like Babylon 5. That's good. The Great Purple Hat for $10. I've been having weekly House of the Dragon watch parties with my friends, which was great. Unfortunately, they are the TO, just the 2. They are just the 2. Is that supposed to be 2, X-Ray Girl?
I wasn't
What's
sure.
What's a TO?
I don't
An
know.
uncle in Spanish.
Yeah. People Agatha was made for. So now we're watching that. Send help. Hail FNT. There's no helping you. You just got to finish it now.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck. lay back and enjoy it. Sir Neoff
Think of
Strife
England.
for $20. Hail the fellowship. I knew that Jeremy was transitioning, but why does Jeremy look like Savvy? Watching y'all on my birthday. Huzzah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Read it on this. Read it and screen it for $9.99. Longtime lurker, first time donator. Thank you. Disparu, because he's British. Made in Chelsea is doing a spin-off with some original cast members called Beyond Chelsea. Can you review and where can the U.S. fans watch? Because you're British, you know all about British television and you know when it's scheduled and when everything's coming out.
I just know Chelsea is not my kind of people. Chelsea is way too close to London, I think. I'm not even sure where Chelsea really is. I just know it's full of insufferable prats. It's very similar to Essex. They walk out orange. They love their fake tan. And wasn't it Made in Chelsea that led to the Geordies? And there was The Only Way is Essex. There's too many of those kind of shows over the UK. We've got too many to make TV shows about.
Well, the BBC is about to go under, so that'll help.
Well, yeah. I mean, just from the criminal court cases alone.
I was going to say, yeah, as soon as your news presenters stop getting busted for being pedos. Signor, because, there's never been a problem with that in the past with the BBC. Signor Don Justice.
I understand why they teamed up with Disney to make Doctor Who.
Yes. Makes a lot of sense. Signor Don Justicia. I can't say it. One cannot quench thirst when songbirds are singing. Ghosty for £2 Sup, gay boys? You should watch Dead Man's Shoes. Hail. Okay. The Meister for $10. What if Phase 4 was Agatha all along? Gasp. And what if Star Wars 789 was Agatha all along? Gasp. It is all making sense now. Or maybe it is time to take my medicine. I don't know. I think it's time to take your meds. Arm
Slave
for $5. Sweet Home Middle Bama. Okay. What the hell's blowing up my phone here? Accident Seller for 50 Norwegian krona. YellowFlash, don't diss 30-year-old women. A lot of my incognito tabs are about 30-year-old women censored, and they're so hot, especially in 4K. Thanks for sharing.
What?
It's a great answer. Just leave it there.
Born 77 for $19.99. Hey, Gary recently asked Kevin Smith if he thinks any of his old stuff was offensive. He said no, but went hard on John Hughes movies like 16 Candles as being way more offensive than Clerks 1 and even Blazing Saddles. Kevin Smith is a fucking cuck.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck Kevin Smith. He's a sellout.
What happened to him, man?
And he built his career on, I'm the guy on the outside. But he was desperate to claw his way in the entire time.
I really hate to point out that although the LA Comic Convention decided not to have Chris Gore run a panel, that a panel that was run by Chris Gore had a lot more people than the panel that was run by Kevin Smith.
He doesn't pull crowds anymore at all, ever.
What's the last thing he did that anybody cared about?
He hasn't done anything.
Throwing clownfish TV under the bus and not apologizing for it.
Fuck that.
Prominent thing he's
him
done.
for them because they're so nice. There was no reason for that shit.
Yep.
He should have just stayed quiet, but instead he had to lie and try to ruin them so that he could hide his bait and switch better. Yep. No one bought it.
Yeah, that was all to try and protect his crappy He-Man reboot, which was atrocious, by the way.
That's right. He's doing the He-Man stuff.
That's what he's done recently.
The second season was actually much better, but
really, because I was totally checked out. That first season was
so bad,
absolute crap. It's I'm not going to watch anything coming out of that continuity.
The second season was actually much better. If they had done what they did with the second season, people would have probably stuck around for the second season.
Mm-hmm.
He's a walking reason why you shouldn't wake and bake. The Blacksmith for $4.99. Someone should go check the seismic activity of Tolkien's grave. It's spinning could probably power the Earth by now. Agreed. Second tier for 10 British pounds. Can we make a show for absolutely nobody? Yes, Wiccan. R.I.P. Dame Maggie. R.I.P. Rings of Power. Also, YellowFlash. I left you a gift in Twitter messages under D20 Music. You might hate it, and that's okay. Grim Jim for $19.99. Can we all appreciate the way back in 1999, the movie Big Daddy had a non-stereotypical gay couple who are chill and lawyers, and it's family film, and nobody has issues with it, contrary to Disney's modern audiences of people. Yes, because guess what? Being gay is not like anything interesting. It's been going on in TV for a long fucking time, decades at this point. Senor Don Justicia. John, man, I said it last week. How can I not say it now?
Don Justicia.
Justicia. Elf Soldier. Oh no, they're holding Galadriel hostage. Gil-Gadaddy. Charge faster. I would too. Fuck that bitch. Stu Cheeks for $5. Savvy. Would you accept a commission for a painting of the Aregion battle to illustrate an actual cohesive story? Something Rings of Power is incapable of?
No, because commissions are closed right now, so that way I can draw lewd things for myself.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to put Perry, you out there listening? Garrett, you there? I need a mostly peaceful Siege of Aregion meme with Don Lemonless in front instead of that other guy. That needs to go in our video. It's for a joke. Kane for $20. Somebody needs to send some
Already done.
You the man. Somebody needs to send some nihilists to the Acolyte and Rings of Power showrunners. Where's the money, Lebowski? Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know where you're going. We know you have it. Give it to us, or we'll kill the girl. Evil could not create anything new. It can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made, says Jam55 for $4.99. Riddell. Yeah, Riddell for $5. I got banned from Reddit for the 4th time for saying that the Wheel of Time TV show has nothing to do with the books. Can't wait for it to be canceled. LO. Man, remember when, like, there was a long time ago when you could say whatever the fuck you want on Reddit? Like,
yeah,
no,
Reddit
is
reset era now.
Oh gosh.
Wheel of Time banned a load of people for not liking the TV show as well. It's been happening for a long time.
The only subreddit that was openly critical of it, the White Cloak subreddit, was completely yeeted off of Reddit completely. The amount of protection they have been running for the Wheel of Time, it's crazy. It's actually a bit nuts.
Dude, they were
run
the protection.
People. They were banning people from the Assassin's Creed Shadows Reddit too, for criticizing the game.
Dude, Wheel of Time.
Look how that's worked out.
Yeah. Wheel of Time's going to be a fart in the wind, just like Rings of Power by the time it hits season 3.
I never hear anybody talking about Wheel of Time.
It's already forgotten. You know, no one watched season 2. And so when season 3 comes out, it's like, what?
Mr. Malik for $20 says if O'Hara and and the Democratic Party can have illegal immigrants vote in this election, then I believe that Trump should be able to get the vote from cats and dogs of America. Well, I think he's won that vote. They're eating the cats. Clive Griffiths for £5 Rings of Power is at a tripe. Where did they spend all the money? Wow, the Muppets could have made this for £1.50. Yep. Dead Dingo Dan for $20 Australian. Hail, Gary. Please convert my dollary dues to dimes. I was told you needed a shitload of dimes. Also, start watching Mr. In Between. It's an Aussie classic. Episodes are short, and it is only 3 seasons. I've heard of that. Shadow Lord for 20 says, if you like mythology, I recommend reading the manga Record of Ragnarok. The premise is 13 humans versus 13 gods, the fight to the death to see if humanity lives or gets erased. I love the manga, and I would recommend reading it. Chris M for £5. Hey, guys, I was watching a tour around Intel's new chip fab, probably factory, and thought, or fabricator, I don't know.
Fabrication.
Yeah, chip fab, and thought, so it's the entire facility or a season of the Rings of Power. What a bargain. Brent Stevenson, thank you for donating $4.99. I appreciate it. Zodlander for 100 Swedish krona. The first season of Vox Machina was real good, but they didn't nail the landing. I think Matt Mercer is a good guy, in my opinion. He's stuck in the industry that makes him say woke in my opinion. Some actors are stuck. But with due respect, Zodlander, that's their choice. Life is full of fucking choices. And if you were truly secure in your art, in your creative ability, you could go out on your own. But so many of them are so trained to be industry boys and girls. Industry boys and girls. You need that for your validation. You need that. You're made to believe you need that for work. And so many, I remember the short time I was there, the people with the Disney badges and the Technicolor badges, that was their fucking life. They wore that with pride. They hung it in a prominent place in their house. And I'm like, fuck this place, man. Like, it's like, these are just shitty jobs. They're just shitty jobs. I was doing what was considered a lower end but important job. I was like the last line of defense for Blu-rays at the time. It was a shitty job. I actually had more fun selling auto parts. I did. It was more enjoyable.
Well, you had to watch Sucker Punch like on nonstop, so
150 times I watched the end of Sucker Punch.
It's gotta be rough.
That'll just ruin your day, you know.
But yeah, you know, the people were way more real working in the auto industry, and it was a lot more fun. We went out and played softball. It was great. No, in Hollywood, it was just like, oh, how many daggers can we stick in your back today for this shitty fucking job? Hi King Feanor, Alpha Chad of Middle Earth for $20. Hail, brother. Here's your Tolkien lore of the day. Gil Galad has been a general 1,700 years prior to the forging of the rings. It was he who sailed to the aid of the Havens to try to stop the third kingslaying. Gil-gadaddy is a tard. Yes. Follow Hi King Feanor, Alpha Chad on Twitter. He'll set you straight. Tell good little stories, too. I think you're getting people to actually read the books, which is awesome. Because you find out the real lore, and you're like, oh, that was so much cooler. Why didn't they just adapt that? Well, because it didn't fit. Well, I'm going from Amazon's perspective. There wasn't enough women in it, you know? Connor Durian, Charlie Manx for $5. Did you see the teaser trailer for The Last of Us Season 2? That they released yesterday? I have not, because I care not about the game or the show. Have any of you?
I didn't watch the trailer, but I'm not gonna watch it.
Which trailer?
Last of Us Season 2.
Oh yeah.
No, who cares?
A pass.
Is Abby smashing it?
I didn't see her in it.
Is there a 5-iron in it?
Obviously, like they're going to do the story. The interesting thing to me is that they switch around the timeline at all, and if they kind of front load some more stuff so that
they do it at the end of the season,
killed in like the first fucking episode, you know.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait a couple episodes to kill him.
And I think
it's going to happen.
Thought there was originally a report about them stretching like the second game into 2 seasons potentially. So I don't know, but the
show's over once he's gone.
It's very very reminiscent of like side by side shots of the game itself.
Oof. Mr. Kennedy for $20. If you buy Yotea, whatever the fuck it is, you are the problem with the gaming industry. You keep rewarding these companies who do the exact opposite of what we want. If a black samurai is stupid in the shadows, then a female Ronin is also stupid. There you go. Brent Stevenson for $4.99. A guy named Connor McDowell made a video on YouTube about some Marvel groups. We post memes on the Facebook. Hail FNT. Hail. Brightest Day Audiobook Productions, LLC. What's up, brother? For $2. Why would you assume there's canon at this point? I don't. I just like pointing it out. But there is no canon in the Rings of Power. Judah for $20. Adar led an invasion, tore down buildings, burned farmlands, butchered everyone he didn't like, and enslaved the rest. He depraves orcs, food, water, and medical. Now he wants to live in peace. Sounds like Hamas.
Yeah, the whole like, oh, Adar is this noble guy who just wants peace for the orcs is complete bullcrap. He committed genocide on the Southlands, right? He's not coming back from that. This guy is an insane, evil nutcase.
Yes.
And so it's just comical that they're trying to present him as
Joseph Malley had a good agent for getting him the fuck out of that show.
And remember, everything he does is because Sauron told him to.
Yep.
And he knows it.
Also, is it a spoiler if nobody cares? Asked Judah for $5. No, it's not. You've heard it here first. Josh Kelsey drops $20 and then walks away because that's what he does. Norm Al Mann for 10 Canadian pesos. John Walker did nothing wrong. No, he didn't. Curtis
Hero
D of Montana for $5. I would only be scared of Disa if I was standing between her and the Golden Corral buffet. So Disa's standing in front. Okay. They're fucking. We didn't talk about the dwarves of Moria. They hold off. By the way, apparently all the dwarven miners of Moria is about 12 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very multicultural 12 guys. And they are held off by Durin III standing behind Disa with her fucking bare leg out from her skirt. And you know what? That's the place the bats would fly out from, is right there from her fucking vag. Holding a fucking hammer in front of him, and they hold him off.
They thought that shot was so impressive that it would get people to watch the series. They released it before the series was shown. Because I remember that whole thing where it was like Warrior Disa being shown.
Jesus,
that was
it
the
was
same
so
screen.
dumb. Arg, another name for 1999, the Marvel logo on the screen. As Yelena says, I pointed this out. There's something wrong with me. Is pretty spot on. Yes. Zodlander.
Have you seen the clip of the next episode?
Of
I was
Agatha?
watching someone's video. No, Rings of Power. For some reason, I don't know if it's the way it's cut. It looks like the Dwarven King is knocking a hole in the mountain with a battering ram. It's really weird. And then it cuts to the Balrog.
Dude.
So it looks like they're going to wake him up at the end of the finale.
Hi, King Fanor, if you're here. For one, they get so much wrong. The dwarves know the Balrog is there.
Somehow.
Because a dwarf literally says, he'll awaken that beast. It's like, all you heard is like a weird sound. Yeah, where did they learn that it's the Balrog?
Could have been a stomach.
The fact that they know that it's theirs, I just forget it.
I mean, if that would be the most critical, crazy thing for the
Sauron
dwarves,
knows it's there. Sauron would go and recruit it immediately. That would be like, dude, you want a job, bro? First lieutenant, come on, you know? How will Disney make a sequel with the Red Hulk when Harrison Ford is so old now? Recast? Yeah, like recasting. They should have. Well, if you wanted to use an old guy, I would have gone Sam Elliott, who had already played General Ross pretty well in Ang Lee's Hulk. But they're not thinking
That's
of the
a really
future.
good point.
Yeah,
and because they've done that before with Jay Jonah, so they should have just did it again.
Yep. Well, I mean, they spoiled the ending. Yes, they probably did spoil the ending. Who cares? Reboot, in my opinion. Yeah, having Captain African American going up against Hulk villains and characters is stupid.
And his one punch, his whole entire body is crippled.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any super serum stuff in him.
Doesn't matter that he has the Captain America's shield. His entire body
it's already dumb enough that
crushed.
It's already dumb enough he's flying around throwing a shield. Like that is first level retarded there, number one. But
the speculator market isn't even that great anymore. I mean, I should dump all my Red Hulk first appearances that I have.
You should. Now's the time. They're like way up. Because you do too. I watch a lot of these channels, and that book's hot right now. You could sell it for a lot of money, like at least $200.
Oh, dude, I've got every single variant. I've got the remarked variants with signatures, everything. I own the shop. I got first dibs and all that stuff.
People wasting all their money on these are so laughable to me because it's like just stick to the classic covers,
dude. I'll never forget when
never touched by the movie hype. Classic covers, key issues and shit. How do you collect stuff you like? That's oh yeah,
collect stuff you like. That's it. But I remember the big mystery, like who's the Red Hulk? Who's the Red Hulk forever?
Who is he?
And when they fucking told me, I'm like, what? That is the most fucking retarded thing I've ever heard, and I still think it's retarded.
I do too.
Yeah, Titanic Pat for £5 British. What a week! I might have my days mixed up. Anyway, Beardo can't enjoy a banana without his favorite brand of extra runny mascara. Well, I already likes him for the shape.
They even made Betty a Hulk.
Yeah. Everything. It really started going wrong back then. But Oh, when I found out who Ronan was, when Ronan was fucking Echo, I'm like, what? Yeah. Recently found out your boy Zach has had a beef with you guys and Drinker, calling you dishonest and birthday party clowns. Any idea what caused this? And would you be willing to have him on to clear things up? I'd be willing to talk with him. But it's not a beef.
I don't think he has much to, I don't think he has too much to add when it comes to talking about entertainment properties. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, he can have his meltdowns or whatever. Who cares?
A beef requires a two-sided thing, and I don't care. I don't care. Larry for $20. Made you look. Thank you. Brightest Day Audiobook Productions LLC for $20 says, it's a shame because I like Hannah John Kamen. What's that about? What did I just read? Thank you, Brightest Day, though. I love it. What smelled worse, prison or Qualcomm? Pelicans for $10. They smelled kind of the same. I'd say, you know what, prison. They kept prison cleaner. What prison smells like is fucking antiseptic cleaners. That's what it smells like. Simple Green and shit like, not Simple Green. What was the fucking, orange. It was the orange cleaner. What's the orange cleaner called?
Pledge?
No, it's like made from oranges. That shit was everywhere. No, it's an orange cleaner. No, it's an orange cleaner that's called
Orange Glow, Gojo stain remover, Lysol.
No. Whatever it was called. I hate the smell of oranges, of freshly peeled oranges. It fucking takes me right back to prison. Like, I fucking hate it. So that'll trigger my PTSD.
Freshly squeezed orange
But
juice.
I can tell you what smells worse than both. The city of San Francisco, the city of Los Angeles, the city of New York. Any downtown city in America smells worse than fucking prison.
New York has gotten so bad.
I was there in 2019, and that was before COVID, and it was a shithole.
I went there, I think, a year and a half ago now, and it you can't frickin' breathe.
I'll be there in a couple of weeks. I'm going to New York City Comic-Con.
New York Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Is that coming up?
Yep.
Yeah, at the end of October.
Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5 says, every time someone refers to Elrond in Rings of Power, I keep wanting to call him L. Ron Hubbard. That'd be closer in character than Elrond. Bruce Willis has the best kill for Jack Black in The Jackal. Yes! Love The Jackal. Good movie. Oh, man. Poor Bruce. Don't think he's going to be with us much longer. Amazon is, I hope he is, but Amazon is taking way too many liberties with the Rings of Power. It's all the liberties, by the way. If it needs to focus solely on the Tolkien footnotes, which it doesn't. Brie Larson's feet. Oh, you put solely. I get it. I didn't see who it was. It's Brie Larson's feet. Here for Ryan. Light of the Even Star for $5. Behold the Thundertards. Hail the Fellowship. Desert Wolfskin for $10. A question for the panel. We've all seen franchises with established male leads be replaced by female leads. Can you name 3 franchises with a female lead that was later replaced by a male lead? I can't name one.
Nope.
Because it's their time. It's their time.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
I remember with Sam Esmail's Battlestar Galactica, they were going to go one further than making. They were going to make Starbuck non-binary. It's so dumb. It's like, we got to go one step further. Thank God that got canceled. Whew. Sam Esmail is a fucking I really liked Mr. Robot at first, but he's basically a party shill, a Democratic Party shill, an operative.
People are saying Buffy then Angel, but Angel was a spinoff. Like he didn't usurp her show.
No, that's a spinoff.
Yeah, the only one I could think of, and someone just mentioned in the chat too, but the only one I could think of was Umbrella Academy. Technically.
Oh.
Technically. And it is true.
It is true.
It's true. In 2024, it is true.
I mean, not really. She's not a man.
No, it's not.
That's another show. Fantastic first season. Like,
oh, yeah, great
epically good first season. And then it just goes off the fucking rails. And how I heard the showrunner, like, was pissed. Like, had to deal with all that stuff. But they dealt with it by saying, I just transitioned. when she comes up in one scene as a boy and it just happened. They go, okay.
It's a fart in the wind.
And guess what? I stopped watching. I just went, okay.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, season 2 wasn't very good either. They kind of went away from the comic, but I like the comic.
FLOPS
Larry
is awesome.
Yeah.
And, what was the other one? The
I like that guy as a
and the
comic
kid.
book writer more than a singer. What's his face?
I like both. Gerard Way.
Gerard Way. Yeah, I like him better as a comic book writer. Not in the screen.
Really good.
When I was, I heard that song so much. My son liked it. My oldest son played it all the fucking time.
Yeah. Not his best album. I like the album before that.
Black Parade. I like the song he does for the end of season 1 of the Umbrella Academy is a good song. That's a damn good song. Here Comes the End. That's a solo song. Yeah, it's a good song. And they did a good cover for the Watchmen soundtrack. In contemporary terms, orcs are the embodiment of toxic masculinity, rape culture, not nurturing fathers, says Larry for $10. Janine King for $2. Bob Sentry is Bob from Top Gun Maverick. Not sure if it's been said, but R.I.P. Maggie Smith. It was, but thank you, Udite, for $2. Half-shaved bridge kitten, 2 parts for $30. Says, don't forget the kids scribbling. These shows can't speak to each other. They are busy drinking their protein under Disney desk, brains filled with little sailors. What else can they think about? They hate you because you're not gulping with them. Question, if you don't have representation, you're not allowed to like it. Cars, still the only great diverse movie are the Rush Hours. Eventually the mob will fall apart like cockroaches. They will scurry somewhere else to poison it. Yes. R.I.P. Dame Maggie Smith. Rest in peace, Miss McGonagall. Red Solo. I've been, well, it's close to the holidays, though. So I've been getting refreshed on Harry Potter. Plus, this show's coming up.
You got to start on Halloween. That's when I start because the very first page is Halloween night. So
that's right.
That's the perfect time to start.
Yeah, that's a good point. Too late, though. I already did.
When Voldemort could stroll the streets and no one would think anything other, like anything was up. Just like, that's a weird dude with the costume.
Yep. Red Solo Traveler for $4.99. Good point. It's astounding how much money Amazon poured into the Rings of and committed itself to making it as complete crap as possible. Yeah, and the Tolkien estate gets the money for 5 seasons no matter what, but they have to make it contractually. They have to. I don't know how many episodes, I don't know how many hours of TV, but they are bound. So, but the Tolkien estate itself is losing credibility at this point. Like with it, they're going to come out and try to re-up and get another contract, and people are going to go, And if they do, they're going to go, you can't have any fucking say. So the Tolkien estate has blown their biggest criticism. The Tolkien estate doesn't like Peter Jackson for some reason. That's why Amazon ghosted him, is because Simon doesn't like Peter. That's why. And that cost him, because Simon wanted to be the aficionado on this. And Simon's a dullard. He's a fucking window licker. He's like an average intelligence, no talent, basically trust fund kid.
If you look at the generational wealth, I think it's something like 30% goes by next generation, 70% by the one after, and almost 100 by the one after that.
Yep.
So the apples generally fall a long way from the truth.
Yeah, I don't want to get too personal, but I did my investigating and checked out interviews with other members of the estate and other heirs of Tolkien, and they're all trust fund kids. They're all just kind of meandering around in the entertainment industry, not holding a job for very long, that kind of thing.
Never had to try.
Well, exactly. When they're given everything and they don't have to work or develop any talent or ability or skills, the results are usually not that impressive.
Groundhog Day, Celebrimbor felt cringe as fuck. Oh yeah. Hey, he didn't see a black cat twice. He saw a white mouse twice. Totally different.
The fact that that's how he figured it out.
It's just... So Sauron has to put his illusions on repeat. That's the only way he can work his magic.
My favorite is where he went, look, there's embers in the fire. It's like, yeah, that's where embers tend to be. And then when everything was revealed, the fire was exactly the same. I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong about that one.
Great show, by the way, 2009. You probably saw whatever was on TV in the corner of the block, probably Dateline, through the little window. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The Acolyte was burned down a stone fortress with one oil lamp. Rings of Power, hold my beer. I know, Curtis D. Montana. Hey, Would You Blow Me has gifted 6 Nerdrotic memberships for $30, and WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for.
Well, X-Ray read that name and didn't know what it meant.
Are you laughing at Bart Simpson prank calls and yeah?
Well, no, she was reading out the name on her own streams and didn't know what it meant for a long
I kept
time.
on saying it again and again, and I'm like, I don't understand this.
That's the shit we were doing over the PO at junior high over the PA. When we get access to it, we'd sneak in there and go, "Hey, would you blow me? Report to the office." Trench coat sword for $2. Y'all should do a rendition of Mr. My Guy for Maggie. No. The Blacksmith for $4.99. I'd sooner trust a German-made sauna than I would the Rings of Power writer-directors to make a good show. I wouldn't trust their directions to the bathroom. I wouldn't trust anything from them. Dirty Water for $5. Damn it, Gary, please don't make Savvy a regular on FNT too late. I had to give up on Tuesday night main event because of that clown shoe. You know what?
Lies. You're there every week.
Discriminating against people over their feet. The Night Bard has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership. Aaron Chairman for £2 Shout out to the In Deep Geek channel for the Lord of the Rings lore. There you go. Gunner for 5 Norwegian krona. Somehow Rings of Power is more circular family tree than the redneck swamp rings of power. By the way, I love that video. That's my favorite AI video is the redneck Lord of the Rings. It's fucking great.
There's a good Harry Potter one too.
Yes.
I like In Deep Geek. He does a lot of like lore videos for Game of Thrones and Tolkien and shit like that. Been around for a long time.
Channel. Who knew a dam completely stops a dam? I can read. A dam completely stops flowing rivers that easy. But seriously, someone needs to check behind the city because a horrible flood has happened. I know that water's got to go somewhere. Gunnar Dan. It's got
with the amount of water that passes through in that huge river, it actually wouldn't take long for the dam to fill up and then just overflow and the river's back.
Yeah. Gosh darn it for 10 Canadian pesos. How Calabrian you kiss? Wow, Calabrian, you kiss like your mother. Second legend, $5. So Elrond married Celebrian because he was in love with her mom. So is it based MILF Hunter Elrond or creepy Uncle Elrond? I think a little of both, you know.
I think it just had an upgrade. I mean, once you meet the personality of this Galadriel, you're like, no, I'll wait for the next one.
I thought Sauron had upgraded with modernity.
I did too. I thought modernity's better looking than Morphid.
Elrond's going to trade in for the younger model.
Despite all her rage, she's still just a rat in a cage. Nothing like what? Thank you, Chrissy. Nothing like watching Charitable 6 get yeeted. Says Blacksmith. Jesus Davila has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5, and No One Mad has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership for $5, and that wraps up the show.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. We're gonna go right to Rumble right now. I'm on a tight schedule because my dogs need to eat. Fucking Melissa, if you're out there, she fucking spoils the dogs now. They like.
It's your job to fucking bring them back to reality, Gary.
You're damn straight. They're not going to be, because it used to be just like some scoops of whatever, or the wet food for the ancient dog, and you can end the show on. But
I'm not logged in. Could you do it?
Oh, bye YouTube.
I lose.
Bye YouTube.
Bye
YouTube.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. Thanks to all the lurkers. You can join us over at Rumble. the Green app right now for a bonus hour. Let's see if I can do this.
When can I drop the N word?
Not yet.
Just a second.
Okay, now I can, right?
Not yet.
Lemur word.
You can do it right now.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dale, dale.